Greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome to another ArchCast, where we've already started off with Dev being wrong. He claimed right before we started that the week begins on a Sunday. I don't even know what to say anymore, chat. I can't. He's too far gone by now. He's too far gone, chat. But don't worry. We have Latink's presentation with us today, so...
Shut the fuck up.
We will survive. That reminds me. Hold on. I found a thing. That I expect to use quite a bit in the future. Here, let me put it in the link channel. There we go. I now have an appropriate reaction in place.
I hate you. Oh, I seen something very interesting right before we went live. Apparently the American Pilot Association or whatever wants to get rid of the use of the word cockpit because it's not inclusive to women.
Oh, yes, I heard something about that. Yeah,
I saw that. Oh my God.
Honestly, it should change depending on if it's a male or female pilot. It should be a cockpit if it's a male pilot, or a clip pit for a female.
Unfortunately, it doesn't actually come from cock. It comes from coxswain, which was like an old naval term for a navigator. But that means that everyone who's getting mad about it is just retarded.
Yes.
What else is new?
Oh my God. Okay. Have you guys seen, I think this is old now, maybe from 2016, 2017. There was a Discord log of people talking, and they said the word German, but they wanted to say it as Germixen because the word man in German was offensive because they just viewed all gendered language as offensive. Have you guys seen this?
No.
No.
Okay, hold on a second. I'll get it for you.
I do know that everything in Germany is gendered. Like, I believe doors are female or something. Probably because they open at the slightest pressure. But
Here you go, Arch. Arch, read that off if you want to cringe a little bit.
Let's see.
You know, being part German, now I'm just upset too. I am German and Mexican with the other white sprinkled in, but Jesus fucking Christ.
You're literally the Nazi that escaped to South America.
Germexen here. As long as you only speak English, you're alright. It's not an attack, it's a logical statement based on a single accusation. Why the hell did you censor the word German? Because of gendered language, and I suggest you censor it too. Ah yes, because Ger-woman is a word, or Ger-person. Stop. Y'all let say that German, a word referring to a language, is a gendered word. Stop using gendered language. Is it really difficult to use Germexen and make people feel more secure and safe? You know what? Yes, it kind of is because Germexen doesn't really roll off the tongue.
Sounds like a medicine. Like Germexen.
It kind of does.
You gotta take your Germexen? Yeah.
Anyways, we have other gendered terms to discuss today. The D&D orcs. This is why I had to bring up the pipe down Latin X picture as well. So, Dev, you've been offline this whole week, so I take it you haven't seen the Hispanic invaders. And he went to take a shit. He does that,
nope,
by the way.
I'm right here. Okay, first of all, we all do that. This is not unique to me, Arch.
Yeah, but not with this frequency. Have you considered one of those bags that people poop in?
So I've not been strictly offline because what I've been doing requires that I, be online to get sources. And I'm making another giant video, which will probably come out either tonight or maybe tomorrow morning, but it's very close to being done. In fact, it might even be out by now if it didn't have to come do this, but that's okay because it's good to hang out. So yeah, I've missed like all the discourse, all the dramas. If anything's happened with anyone, I haven't seen any of it. I've been like completely I haven't been on Twitter, haven't been on Discord, I've just been doing this video So I don't know what's going on, Arch. What's going on this week?
Well, these are the new Dungeons and Dragons orcs for the upcoming player handbook, and they're just Mexicans.
As soon as I seen it, I'm like, why are the orcs
Fire
Mexican
is the
now?
answer.
But also,
Are they Mexican?
look at the image. They are fucking Mexican.
I mean, it looks like it's in Mexico, and they've got like sombreros. There's no donkeys though. They have to have donkeys for it to be really Mexican.
I mean, I don't think donkeys would be able to hold orcs up.
I'm also pretty sure the one female orc there is practically wearing the Mexican flag. Red, green. I suppose we're missing the white, except for a skin color. That's white enough, I guess.
Yeah, it's weirdly white for an orc, you know?
Especially considering they apparently now live in Mexico. I was under the impression that this was a hot part of the planet.
And it's like looking at the one all the way on the right side. He kind of looks like one of my uncles when they have to go work on the roof.
I like the dude
roof?
on the right because he looks like the archetypical hombre. Nice big fat
Shut
mustache.
the fuck up.
Got his shirt off. He's just studying a tomato or something, I don't know. And smiling. I like how he's really appreciating this tomato he's picked up here. Like, good tomato.
Oh, God.
But
And it's like, granted, they could have been thinking ahead here because Mexicans are one of the most racist groups of people you'll ever fucking meet. So, they could just be raging racists.
I suppose, like, defining Mexicans as a species of invading brutish monsters is, that's pretty far right, but hey.
I mean, do you see the border right now? Granted, it's mostly, like, Chinese people and people from Venezuela, but, you know.
There is a suspicious number of Chinese people, this is correct. But this is not a picture, right? I hate this picture for D&D on every level. Like, because the more you look at it, the worse it gets. The orcs have crossbows now. The orcs have, like, fully built up familial units. The orcs are wearing, like, complicated clothing. Like, there's a chick with dusters on her boots that's holding the little bird. They're hunting using just fucking birds. It's D&D. They could be using trained velociraptors or something, but no, there's just Harry's hawks. Like, literally the beginning bitch bird and our world's falconry. They are wearing, like, I don't know what they call the things on their legs, but they're specifically there to protect your thighs against chaffing when you're riding a horse. So the orcs are now concerned about fucking comfort. It's like, Warlord Grummash, what is your plans? I just need these chap pants first on here. I have a terrible itch on the inside of my thighs.
It's like the art is... Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, go.
It's like the art is absolutely beautiful, but it could have been literally anything else. It could have been like, you know, regular savage fucking orcs. Like, I don't fucking know. Ruining a battlefield or just going fucking insane. But no. We're getting Disney-fied orcs.
We really are. Because, like, there's... Okay. I've got a question. To both of you. Like, what is an orc to you?
Well, for me, it would have been World of Warcraft orcs because that was really my first exposure to them.
Heresy
Outside of
suppressed.
like the
Fire
the
is the
occasional
answer.
pigman, like a Japanese RPG, for me, the first real idea of like a unified idea of what an orc is came from Warcraft.
I've never played Warcraft because I like myself.
Heresy is
But
the question. Fire is the answer.
They're
my
like green
first-
barbarians, basically. Yeah.
yeah, it's like my first exposure to orcs was The Lord of the Rings and everything. And like as my boyfriend likes to
Service
describe
guarantees
that
citizenship.
orcs are kind of like Vikings in terms of like pillaging, traveling a lot because they are nomadic in nature. They're never in one place, which is why you'll never see a
Heresy is
orc
the
settlement
question. Fire is
long
the
term.
answer.
They're always moving. So it's like I don't know. This new way of their writing them, it just doesn't make sense.
In Warcraft,
Service
they're more like
guarantees
Klingons
citizenship.
if you're a Trekkie. Basically, they're very savage, but they're very honorable. They fight a lot. They're big and strong. Lots of barbarians, but they do have like
Heresy's the
established cities and
question.
they have like a
Fire
government.
is the answer.
But it just seems to be like a very feral civilization. You know what I mean?
Well, there's the thing, right? So you're now mostly describing their physical appearance and their
Heresy's the question.
habits.
Fire
right?
is the answer.
But if we were to drill down, like orcs, they have something in common in virtually all fictions in which there are orcs. Lord of the Rings, Warcraft, Warhammer, even in like their mythological origins, right? Because the mythological origins of the orcs is more along the lines of the Vikings, but even more so along the lines of savages. Like every civilization has a word for the outsider, and it tends to be barbarian. The Chinese called everybody barbarians. The Greeks called everyone outside of Greeks barbarians. The Romans called everybody barbarians, etc., etc. The Muslims called the Westerners barbarians, just as the Westerners called the Muslims barbarians. That is what the orcs are to me. They are the outside force. Someone put it very succinctly, actually, in my comments on Twitter. They are the invaders. Because every civilization has some sort of civilizational memory of an invader. Be it the Ottoman Turks invading Vienna, or be it the Christians invading Jerusalem, etc., you know? But these orcs, they're not that. These orcs aren't invading anything.
Well, I think what they've been doing, I mean, here's the thing. We've seen this a lot recently, right? I think even Grums had a post about it, because Grums used to work on World of Warcraft, and he made a post recently. Can I find it, I wonder? With like basically how Warcraft orcs kind of became pussies. In fact, I think he's also commenting on this event as well. Let me see if I can find it Yeah, here we go. Okay. Here, I'll post this in the D&D chat, Arch, if you want to bring it up.
Please do.
But the same thing's basically happening. So from Warcraft 1,
yes.
1995, there's the original artwork from Chris Metzen of a barbarian who's like killing a human knight. And then World of Warcraft, actually this is from the card game Hearthstone, 2023. And to be honest, it's strange, but this is actually kind of okay, because in the lore, the orcs have actually become pussies compared to what they used to be. Like in Warcraft 1, they were this demonic horde that was like overrunning human kingdoms and like just killing and eating everyone. And then by World of Warcraft, they've kind of like settled down and like established a civilization, and there's even like a lot of memes in game, in lore, about how like you have these old grizzled orc warriors who have been around for like 50 years and they're all scarred up, and they're like, they see their grandkids who are just like pussies because they've been civilized, basically, you know what I mean? And so like this, I understand why people like look at this image and they go, this is terrible, they're ruining Warcraft. Like there's kind of a reason for it in game.
Heresy's the question. Fire is
however,
the answer.
We've seen this happen not just to Warcraft, we've seen it happen everywhere, all the time. And in fact, Arch, I'm gonna hand this link off to you as well, if you wouldn't mind bringing this up, because this is relevant. I think what's happening here, this was announced back in 2022, but once the next version of D&D comes out, because we're still on 5th edition, whenever 6th edition, whatever it is, whatever they call it, whenever that comes out, they've already announced that they're going to be taking races out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all that stuff's gone, because it's racist to have races in the game, because the idea of a playable race with unique traits
Heresy's the question.
basically means that the
Fire
races
is
are
the
different,
answer.
which has real world connotations between real world races being different, and it's racist, so they're taking it out. So basically now you can just in the next, not in 5e, but in the next version of D&D, whenever it comes out, you'll be able to choose whatever physical characteristics you want and whatever like racial bonuses that you want, and just mix and match them. So you could if you want to play a traditional orc, you can just make a character with green skin and then like, you know, some sharp teeth or something, and then pick various racials that align with what orcs were. but they're not going to offer races as an actual playable thing anymore.
Yep.
So I think this is just part of the move towards that direction.
Oh, it absolutely.
You're gonna have like more artwork. Like actually, Arch, do you recall in Magic the Gathering, same thing? There was like art just changing everything and like softening everything, and it's like, well, as you make these things more friendly and softer and more inviting, you also take away a lot of the difference between the things. Like if orcs are just humans, they're just green humans. And there's no cultural differences now, there's no religious differences, there's no differences in combat, there's no differences whatsoever. You've made the orcs a lot less interesting because now all the difference is gone.
Yep. And you are right. This is why they are doing it, the whole species thing. And that is why you have the Mexican orcs here. Because that's the point I'm working towards, right? These aren't orcs. They are humans. That's what they are. They can have the stat lines of an orc, but that doesn't mean they have to be orcs anymore. Like, the thing that was an orc no longer exists. There is no alignment necessities. There is no, you don't need to worship Grumash or Gramash or whatever their god was. You don't have to be evil. You don't have to have any of their racial traits. You can just declare unilaterally, my character looks like an orc. Okay. And then he has all of those characteristics of a human, because we've gotten rid of that entire system. So this is what we arrive at, where the orcs are just people. There's nothing defining about them whatsoever. Like, the closest thing that they have to being orcs now in this drawing is that they appear to be nomadic. That's it.
Yep.
And it just makes everything boring. Doesn't it? Like, it just makes it so fucking bland. Again, everybody's just a human now. God.
Yep. Everyone's just, yep. That's all it is. Like, if differences between groups of people offend you, and then you're going to map that onto differences between fantasy groups of people, then in order to have proper representation, you have to get rid of the differences, which gets rid of all the interesting things, because now everyone is just the same thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is fantasy. You know the usual complaint, right? It's like, Baldur's Gate did this when they presented the average character that people made in Baldur's Gate, and it was a short brown-haired man. That was it. And they were like, oh my god, we give you all these options and you just created a dude? Yeah, that's what you're doing. You're reducing everything to just a fucking dude. And it is obviously in the name of representation as well. And we can see this in another piece of artwork they've got here. So this is from the same upcoming book, the 6th edition of the Player Handbook. You've got the orc picture up to the left, of course. Next you have the combat wheelchair, obviously.
I fucking hate the combat wheelchair. Like, I keep seeing them and they're so fucking dumb. Listen, okay, let's say it's D&D, and let's say you have a paralyzed character, and let's say for some reason you can't like get a mage to cure it, or a priest, because that's what they can do.
Curse or something, you've made up a bullshit reason.
Yeah, get him a magic carpet. There, it's solved. Have a magic carpet. That is so much better than a fucking wheelchair. It's so stupid.
Like, again, it's D&D. There are infinite solutions. You could bind yourself up in a golem exoskeleton. You could use magic to build yourself like an external muscular structure. You could use a magic carpet. You could use literally an infinite number of solutions to this problem, but they choose the wheelchair. Why? Because this is an identity now. Do you remember a few years ago when the leftism was at its peak, there were articles about people who were transabled, who were blinding themselves because they felt they were born blind?
Yeah, that was on Dr. Phil, the one who blinded herself, yeah.
Jesus.
So there's an interesting legal conundrum here, actually. So if you've looked into people who have wheelchairs, or people who have like seeing eye dogs, stuff like that, right? Like service animals. In order for them to be able to go into places that animals can't usually go in, or for wheelchairs to go into places that you can't usually bring in some sort of like you can't ride a bike in a store, but you can go around in a wheelchair. Basically, in order to make it legal, to make everything like work out on paper, the various Western governments kind of came to the same conclusion, which was to for legal purposes consider the wheelchair or the service animal to be legally part of your body. So taking your wheelchair is legally like assaulting you because it's part of your body. It's now been stolen, and the police will treat it that way if someone steals your wheelchair or steals your seeing eye dog. And I mean, that makes sense legally because you don't want people stealing wheelchairs and stealing seeing eye dogs. So fair enough. But a downstream effect of that is because like now I've seen people, this is again over the past decade or so, I've seen people who are disabled start to say like, this is literally my body. It's like, well, it's not literally, it's legally your body, but not literally your body. No, this is literally my body now. And we've now reached a point where it is becoming a representation thing because it's just their body now. And that's kind of where this logic has progressed to, where it had decent roots, and then activists kind of spun it off into some insane nonsense.
Well, yeah, it became a way to get privileges in the era of victimization. This became a thing. It became an identity. This was, of course, the beginning roots of intersectionality, where you're not a person anymore. You're a series of qualifiers, of which your disability or ability places you higher or lower on the pyramid of privilege. Like, it's the dumbest thing ever. And now it's in D&D. And you've got also, of course, here the usual series of diverse characters. You have a one-eyed black witch. You have the woman with the singular African-American haircut in all fucking entertainment now, the side shave mohawk.
I have never met a single black person who's ever had that hairstyle. Ever.
I would imagine it'd be difficult to maintain. God. Next picture, the elves. I love this one because, okay, D&D now. I want to point out, too, we've had one picture where there's been some action, where there's been enemies off-screen. So we're assuming that they're fighting something because there's some greenish glow around, right? Next picture, no fighting. The orcs, no fighting. This picture, no fighting. The final picture, no fighting. Like, the majority of pictures about Dungeons and Dragons now are just gay people. Unearly, over in the corner, you have what seems to be a gay couple holding hands with a kid. You've got another lesbian couple over to the left, walking through the garden. You've got a black elf singing gaily to the flowers so they'll grow. Like, God.
Listen, Arch, I'm never going to complain about two hot elves holding each other, okay?
If they were hot, I wouldn't complain either, but they both look like they were descended from orcs. And maybe they were.
Still would.
So even then, like, they're not even attractive. Like...
Hold on. The purple one is. I don't know about the green one, but the purple one is.
The purple one has a bad case of the man brows and the man jaws again, too.
I don't see it this time. Sorry.
Schnauzer, sizably too large for face. Like, Dev just hasn't seen an attractive elf in so long now that he's grasping at straws. Like, Rings of Power is his reference point now.
Listen, I did take a break to watch some elf hentai a couple days ago, so I know exactly what good-looking elves are. Thanks very much.
Oh, good job. Proud of you. I still need to watch Rings of Power.
No, you don't.
Oh, yes, she does.
Arch is making me.
Really? You're gonna rewatch it, Arch?
Me? No.
No, he's going to hold me in front of him like a shield while we watch season 2.
Man, I'm trying to get Lilith to come back to the internet, right? So, because she's just like, listen, no, I'm not watching Rings of Power season 2. It's like, okay, fair enough.
Well, there you go. I have as a replacement Lilith right here.
Yeah, but Lumi isn't trans, though.
We could fix it.
Nope. No.
We always get. We see. Here's the thing: Lumi, if you are the replacement Kibbs, we can just get Taftad to be the replacement Lilith, and it'll all work out.
There you go. We'll have a woman and a trans person. Perfect.
All the representation.
Yeah.
And the final picture of these four, because it gets gayer. It gets a lot gayer. That wasn't gay enough. We then have two elves who have, dwarves who have tattooed each other's beards on their arms.
That's pretty gay. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's pretty gay. And again, what are they doing right now? Are they fighting a Balrog? Are they doing something cool in Dungeons and Dragons? No, they're baking fucking cookies.
I mean, there's one good thing about this image, and it's the cat in the corner.
Yeah, there's a cat.
Well, Lumi, do I need to tell you what happens to
Service
pets in gay
guaranteed
households?
citizenship.
Monkeypox style?
Stop! Shut up! Everyone knows what happens to pets and sometimes children in gay households.
Yeah.
So shut up.
Don't you think that cat looks a little sad upon closer inspection? Like its eyes drooping
Shut
a
up.
little bit? Like it looks a little bit afraid?
Shut up.
Listen, I must point out at this point. I must point out that it's not just gay households. All right, white women and dogs. We all know what happens.
That's true.
They're not gay.
Yeah.
They're not gay. They're straight.
Yeah, I don't know what the problems are with the queers and the women in these regards. It's just weird to me.
I don't know. I was looking at the comments and people were posting some art from Pathfinder, and man, this shit looks nice.
Service guarantees citizenship.
Well, yeah, because, okay, Pathfinder. Paizo is another woke as all hell company. Like, genuinely so. But at least they still have apparently managed to maintain some love for the thing they're making. They still at least have monsters. It's still painfully diverse. Very much so. You've got the turban-wearing Indian woman. And, I think, was it Dungeons and Dragons who had the black African warrior? Oh, I don't remember now. But at least there's monsters.
Possibly, yeah.
At least they're fighting something.
Yeah.
God damn it. That's the qualifying statement now. Are they at least in combat with something that resembles an enemy? If so, then, that's good enough.
Oh, I should probably tell Lumi this. So Lumi, have you followed the Magic the Gathering controversy from maybe a year ago or so, where they released a Lord of the Rings set and they made Aragorn black?
Oh, Blackie.
Oh yeah, I seen that. I seen that they made a lot of characters race swapped, but that one was the biggest.
Yeah.
What else happened?
Well, it turns out that I went to high school with the artist who was commissioned to do all those.
Heresy's the question.
All those
Fire
works.
Is the answer.
Uh-huh.
Now, I don't know if the company made him do it or if he did it of his own volition. But he was an extreme edgelord back in the 2000s, and he's very, very woke now, and he likes to pretend that he doesn't know who I am.
Wow. What the fuck?
Because now he has like a big career as an artist for. I think he might also be doing D&D now as well.
Well, there was Aragorn. They made Gandalf, an Asian dude.
Yeah, so I that seems like the kind of thing that would have to come from the company, right? Like if you were hired on as an artist,
like yeah,
and then you
no,
just
no.
and then you just made Aragorn black. Someone at the company's going to be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
But
no. If you
it has to
get
come
the
from the top.
mission, like, hey, so we're doing collaboration with Magic the Gathering, Lord of the Rings. Make us a drawing of Aragorn with his magic sword. And it's like, okay, cool. And they come back with a black Aragorn. If that wasn't the company's direction, somebody would be raising an eyebrow.
Yeah, things like that tend to be like from the top, right? So, for example, I know this. I'll use a Nintendo example that's not nearly as contentious. Basically, Capcom pitched to Nintendo. This is before Wind Waker, so before 2003. Capcom pitched to Nintendo the idea of doing a cartoony Legend of Zelda game. Nintendo said no, and then they were given the green light only after Nintendo made their own cartoony Legend of Zelda game in Wind Waker. So the idea is, if you're going to do any major changes to a property that is owned by a company, you have to run that by the company. You can't just do it, right? So if, regardless of whether or not the guy I knew in high school is now woke, even though he definitely is, I don't think he decided to do this. I think this came from the top, but he was more than happy to do it. I mean, getting paid, getting your name out there. I mean, you can now put on his resume that he made Magic the Gathering card, which is a pretty big deal, and also he fucking ruined them. So, yeah.
What was this also? Eowyn. Eowyn got race swapped too. And yeah, no. The obvious thing is, as you say, like, the dude
Fire
went
is
woke.
the
Well, he
answer.
didn't even necessarily go woke, but he got into an industry, looked around, and was like, oh, everyone has this political ideology here. I wonder how I can get ahead in this environment.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like sometimes you do it because you don't actually believe in the things, you just want to have a career and you don't care. It's like, you know what? If this is the crowd, this is the crowd. Sometimes you actually become convinced of the ideas over time, and sometimes you don't. But either way, it does seem to be some type of cowardice if he doesn't believe these things and he's doing it anyway. That seems to be kind of cowardly, even if it would cost him, materially.
Well, cowardice is one explanation, but it's also just the normalcy bias, Because wokeism, for better or worse, for a good 10, 15 years, was just, as they say, the waters in which we swim, right? It was everywhere. It suffused everything before we even knew what wokeism was. The reason why the accusation of racism held such enormous power was because we had already internalized that was like the worst thing you could possibly be. And they just gave an extra political edge to it. It was so normal that you can't really question it. And only now, very recently, have people begun to question it. And even that was only after, 5, 6, 7 years of building up the groundwork, changing the culture, or largely through influencers and people on YouTube and social media talking about this. I mean, we see now the politicians are beginning to talk about it. That is how long and how difficult a progress this has been to change the public perception.
Yeah, I think also is that it had to progress
Service
far enough
guarantees
that your average
citizenship.
person started to hate it too.
Well, yeah. It's the holding it up in front of it, isn't it? Because all politics is 2% of people arguing over the 98%, in essence. And that's why those, you probably remember this, right? Back in the day when we would make dumb videos about this is why cultural appropriation is silly, right? And we barely knew what the fuck we were talking about. But it was a way to...
2014?
Yeah, 2014. To bring it up into the public perception so that people would look at it and go, man, that is silly. And that one thing wouldn't change anybody's mind. But after 10 years of it, it all adds up.
Yep. When I was talking to John Radoff on Side Scrollers, I made the point, right? Like, if you race swap a background character on a poster in Dead Space, in the Dead Space remake, it's not a big deal, right? It's like, whatever. But that is one drop in a giant pool that is filled up very slowly over the course of 10 years. And now everyone's hypersensitive to it. So you see one thing and you lose your fucking mind.
Yeah, because the slippery slope has been so demonstrably proved now. You begin with the one race swap in the background. Well, you didn't begin with it, but you get the general idea. And eventually, after a long enough period of time has passed, you destroy the setting, like Dungeons and Dragons. You begin with one change, and you end up with just fucking people. You end up with artwork that focuses more on the gay relationship of the characters than dungeoning or dragoning. I mean, fuck, there isn't a single dragon in any of the artwork released so far.
I mean, hey, I just posted in links. Someone used the Bing AI art generator, and those AI generated Mexican orcs look so much fucking better.
They do.
You're
They
unable
look
to
so
do this
cool.
post because this account only limits who can view their posts. I can't see it.
I can see it.
Probably because you're blocked. Hold on.
Oh, are you blocked?
I don't know.
I'll post the individual images.
My association
Also,
with
man.
Sagaruni has put me on many block lists.
I just realized this is only tertiarily related, and you don't have to bring it up, Arch, if you don't want to. But basically, that guy that I mentioned that I knew in high school, he looks like 10 years older than me. What the fuck? I guess progressivism happened to him.
That's what progressivism will do to you.
Like, his hairline's at the top of his head at this point. Jesus, dude, you're not that old. You're in your 30s like I am. Man.
Progressivism is a hard drug.
Like, here, I'll post it in the link. Don't bring it up, okay? Because I don't want to dox him, right? But, like, this guy he's like 35.
Progressivism is one hell of a drug.
That's rough for 35, dude. Like, everyone gets old eventually, everyone gets old eventually, but fuck.
I also found a more blown up version of the dwarf mine, and it is... I love... Okay, right. The dwarves, right? They live in massive insular cities under the mountain. They don't really interact with anyone. They've built essentially their own little ethno-nations underneath the mountain. They're a fortified version of fucking Israel. And yet, you've got black dwarves, you've got yellow dwarves, you've got Hispanic dwarves, you've got white dwarves, you've got dwarves of every single solitary color. How did they even evolve? Like, I know it doesn't matter. I know it's a fantasy fucking universe. I know they do whatever the fuck they want, but God, it annoys me so much. How did they evolve? Are there Asian dwarf holdings? Are there black dwarf holdings? How do they join together? How does any of this fucking make sense? And it doesn't, of course, because again, it's just turning them into just people. They're just short people.
Heresy's the question.
See, I think the issue is that, like, in real life, you have different ethnic groups, and the ethnic groups have, genetic similarities, but also, linguistic and cultural and religious, and they come from a certain location in the world. And then, if you go to a different location in the world, there's a different ethnicity with different genetics and different practices, et cetera, et cetera. And then it's all of these different unique peoples. Once you take a bunch of them, put them all together, and say a country like the United States, you can, there's some problems with that, obviously. The right-wingers are very correct about that, but there's also a lot of benefits with it too, right? And what you realize is, yeah, these are all people, all these different types of people, but they're also all unique people, right? Because every culture has some different practice or some different view on things. And, I am doing kind of the multi-culti bullshit here in some ways, but this picture that you have up, Arch, this isn't really multi-culti bullshit. It's just superficially different.
Yeah, no, it's not cultural. It's race. That's all it is.
Yeah,
it's skin color.
Yeah, because they're all going to be dwarves, and they're all going to have the same culture and the same religious practices. They just look different because they want to map them onto various ethnicities that exist in the real world. Yeah. To, I guess, presumably to make people in the real world feel represented or whatever. But nonetheless, like, it's like you said, a group would not evolve like this because they didn't evolve like this, because we didn't evolve like this. Like the reason that all the differences are interesting is because they were kept separate, so that when they finally interacted with each other, the difference, you're different from me, and here's how I'm different from you, right? Like, when you just mix them together and then pretend they were always mixed, it just makes no sense. Like, nothing here makes sense.
No, our appearances, our cultural differences come from thousands of years of separation, at the very least. Whereas here, they were created like this, I guess. And again, the fact that we make everything so bland, it makes it boring. You can even make humans interesting if you wanted to. Like, I watched this movie again the other day because it's just a dumb action flick in essence. The Great Wall, a Chinese movie when the Chinese were trying to reach the Western audience with their movies. They hired I think Matt Damon and a bunch of famous actors to act in their movie, and they represent themselves as if they were fucking elves. Like, they've got great-looking armor, they've got fanciful-looking technology, they all look different, they all have, stated characteristics about them. They look as if they have this vast and interesting, unique culture to them, despite just being people. These characters here have more individual characteristics than the fucking fantasy races now.
Yep, that's how it is, man. That's how it is. Okay, so someone in the chat said Dev is saying separate but equal. Listen, I know, okay, Lumi, you're the only American here, okay? So I know that Americans have, a great, they're allergic to the phrase separate but equal because they did it so fucking poorly. But in actuality, yes, separate but equal.
Yeah.
Just not done poorly. Like it was a massive fuck up the way the Americans did it, but you can actually do it relatively well.
Yeah. But a lot of people just don't want to put in the hard work. Because it's like, I didn't eat, so my brain's not working. Fucking
Lumi.exe not functioning.
No, I'm not. I
go
stayed
eat.
up too
It's
late
okay.
playing Elden Ring.
I eat all the time on this show.
You do.
You see, but eating while on stream just seems rude, and then I end up burping, and I'll only burp on my streams, not anyone else's.
You can go full Hassan Piker and just watch videos for an hour while you eat.
Ew, disgusting.
He just steals the content, or have your chair react to it.
If I ever go anywhere near Sniper Wolf levels of content, please just snipe me from across the border. It'll be okay.
Yeah. Oh god. Okay. The chat took my separate from equal comment in the wrong way that I meant it. Okay. Listen. Here's what I mean by separate equal. Okay. If people want to intermingle and mix, that's fine. If they don't, that's also fine. Just leave them alone, right? I've seen people saying, no, we must force all of these different groups together and make them all be together. And it's well, if they don't want to do that, it's going to cause problems. But then you also have the alternative of, you have the ethnonats who are no, we must keep the races pure. That also can cause some problems, right? Just leave people be, and they will make the choices that they want to make. And as long as the government treats you with the same, with the same legal consideration,
lack of respect and abject distaste for your human rights. Yeah.
Oh my god, chat's right. This woman looks like Hillary fucking Clinton.
She does.
Oh, it does. Oh my god.
Yeah, Hillary Clinton is a paladin, 6E now.
Oh no.
I wonder. Okay, hold on. Here's something I'm thinking about. Now that you have gaming's very mainstream, and gamers are getting older, I wonder if people are doing let's put old people in the game now because there's more old players.
Representation in all things.
I mean, that's why they have the wrinkle slider now, I guess.
Heresy's the question. Fire is the answer.
But I want to play games to escape my aging shit. Let me be young again. I want to remember when my bones didn't hurt.
Well,
man, you're still in your 20s. You're fine. You're fine.
But I also went through childbirth, so that just tacked on a few years of pain. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. Damn.
That's the state of Dungeons and Dragons then. And I just want to point out too, all of this shit is just window dressing to the real cancer of 6E, the whole one D&D thing, where they're going to force your ass online, and you're going to have to do everything via their online shop, and preferably only play via their online client. They're going to put you in a little jar where they can milk you relentlessly, and make sure that you don't go over to any of those silly competitors, because they'll literally be your only source of this. They will put you in the box, they'll be on your phone, they'll be on your PC, and they'll look angry at you. They'll put you in the Skinner box, in essence, and there's butter you in microtransactions. Fucking guarantee it.
I think they saw the success of Roll20, and they're like, we gotta do that. So they're gonna basically... I'm sure 6E will come around and they'll be like, sorry, Roll20, you can't have it. This is for us only.
You can't use it anymore. And it's also the fact that they will create then their own little market monopoly, in essence, because they can create their own walled garden, and you can only get access to D&D stuff through them. It's in essence what they tried to do with when they tried to call back the open RP license, which a lot of the other settings were based upon, and they weren't allowed to do that, which pissed them off a lot. And this will allow them to finally create that walled garden where they get to decide everything.
I mean, that's why they're making one D&D, because everything is going to be on one online app. They are going to stop printing physical books, and you can only get them from their online shop. And you can only access them for as long as your membership is active. They're literally going for an all-digital platform, and it's going to be terrible.
And the subscription
You know what else is
part
an all-digital platform? The Pirate Bay.
What?
The Pirate Bay.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, though, the interesting thing with pirating is, of course, that when things became affordable and easy to get access to, piracy nosedived. Once Netflix was the only thing you needed, piracy of television shows almost ceased to be. And now that it's getting more and more difficult again, and inflation is creeping up, guess what else? Pirating's slowly getting more popular again.
Yep. It's happening. I mean, at this point, there's probably like a moral obligation to pirate companies that are especially egregious. You know, like I know this is not this topic, but there's a big controversy I think a week ago regarding the Adobe suite of software, like Photoshop, and that went through a whole fucking thing where like in their latest update, the terms of service you had to sign basically said we own anything you make with our software. I think that's what it said. And I'm like, this is ridiculous, man. Like, imagine you go to Home Depot and you buy yourself a hammer, and then in the fine print of the receipt, it's like, so now Home Depot owns anything you build with this hammer. Like, it's fucking stupid. It's ridiculous, right? But that's where we are right now. So it really, like, we are at the point where you have a moral obligation to start pirating from these companies because they're actually terrible.
Oh, yes. Like, if you use any Adobe software, crack it. Now. Like, my God.
And it's like, I wonder how many projects that the creators were under a very strict NDA that Adobe now has access to. Because that, like, besides the lawsuit that is already going on with the U.S. government, imagine how many companies are going to be joining in that lawsuit because of potential, like, sensitive information just being in their grubby little fingers.
Oh yeah, like, Adobe is one of the worst companies on fucking earth. Like the fact they even used to, remember, sell products, right? So you bought them once and you owned them. They unilaterally cancelled that a few years ago and started demanding subscription fees, even for software that you had legally bought. And the reason they're getting sued now is because they've decided to add in cancellation fees for your digital product, which is so goddamn absurd. Cancellation fees. Okay, what am I paying off here? Your physical delivery of my products? No, it is just there to go like, oh, I shouldn't cancel. It'll cost me money. So that you'll stay on for another year, because the cancellation window, I guarantee you, is like 5 days or something. Adobe are terrible human beings.
I know you mentioned Netflix earlier, Arch. Honestly, I think the subscription model, I think it's killing video games, and I think it's killing movies in a sense, because now it's like, well, Netflix orders 500 new shows for a season, and Disney Plus orders a bunch of shows and whatever. And then it's like, well, how accurate is their data really regarding how much money those shows are actually making them, right? Think about it. You know, how much did Star Wars: The Acolyte cost Disney to make?
About
and how many
100 million in the hole, I'd wager.
And how many new subscribers to Disney Plus did that actually bring in?
Minus 2,000.
Or like, how many people were about to cancel their Disney Plus, but they said, you know what, I'll stay on to watch this show. You know, like, it's hard to get that data compared to just someone bought a DVD or someone bought like a movie theater ticket.
Oh, yeah.
So I think we're starting to see, like, because you have these streaming services where everything's lumped together into one sum, and everyone's paying one fee for a service, and they might be buying it for 100 different reasons. Um, it's going to be hard to understand really like why these companies are failing. They're not going to have accurate data on, or at least not as accurate as before, as why people aren't subscribing to their service anymore. It's like, well, we released 15 shows last week, right? Well, which one of them is the reason people unsubbed? We don't fucking know, unless they put it in the comments, which they might. But it's not going to be as direct as someone bought a DVD or someone bought a movie theater ticket.
It is definitely harder to analyze. Now, they do have their own stats. They have, like, how many times did we show ads for this show? How many people clicked through? What were their age groups, their genders, their demographics, etc.? How many people subscribed? How many people subscribed with, like, a click, like, this is the reason why, or from promotional campaigns for the Acolyte, etc.? So they do have data. But one of the big problems is that the subscription service in and of itself is kind of the reason why it exists. Disney Plus doesn't exist to give you entertainment and sell the Acolyte or sell you any individual show. It is there to sell the service. We've kind of flipped the script on this, where the service itself is what they want to sell you. And this came largely from gaming too, stuff like live service, for example, where they thought to themselves, okay, we could sell you a $60 game, and that's it. That would be our end profit, maybe with an expansion pack. Or we could sell you a $60 game with 5 years worth of microtransactions and potentially charge you an infinite number of dollars. And this idea, which has only really succeeded in a handful of occasions, like Fortnite and PUBG, like 3 or 4 games in total, right, is the idea of infinite revenue. And every single one of these companies, just their little peepees, are rock hard. They're like, oh, infinite money, even though none of them ever actually get that infinite money. And Disney Plus is still not profitable.
Heresy's the question. Fire.
Actually, in that same vein, I was very shocked to learn that Xbox Game Pass is profitable. And in fact, it's the only thing at Microsoft making any money right now.
Well,
here, Arch, I'll give you this article here. And this is just, we now know why the Xbox Game Pass is so important for Microsoft. It's the only thing making any gaming profits. And Game Pass does seem to be pretty successful. But, like, here's what I mean, right? This came out last September as a result of there was a lawsuit in the European Union and a lawsuit in the US regarding Microsoft and like buying so many companies. That's been like an ongoing controversy. And so as a result of those lawsuits, certain documents had to come to light just to be approved. And so they were made public. And this is what it cost to bring various games onto Game Pass. I first discovered this because I first discovered this in the context of side scrollers, because they were talking about this, and so I've saved this article. It's been a while since I've been on there, but I've saved this article for a future video because it's actually quite interesting. If you look at it, right? So if you scroll down to this article, it says here's the full breakdown of estimated costs, including games on Xbox Game Pass. So right, the third one, Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League, cost $250 million. Right? What that means is that Microsoft went to Warner Brothers and said, here's $250 million. You're going to make your game available on Game Pass, because that is in lieu of their sales. Because if it's on Game Pass, anyone can play it whenever they want, as long as they have a Game Pass subscription. So there's no sales there. So instead, Microsoft pays them to put it on Game Pass. And like, there's no way Microsoft has gotten $250 million worth of Game Pass subscriptions for Suicide Squad, because it's a fucking joke of a game, right? Mm-hmm. Like, that was a massive blunder they made. But other games on here probably did make them some money, right? Like, if you look over the list, I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 is on there. They got it on Game Pass for $5 million.
That sounds like a fucking steal.
Yeah, they probably got $5 million worth of Game Pass subs for Baldur's Gate 3 for sure. If you look at, like, what's another good deal on there, probably something like Red Dead Redemption. That's $5 million per month, though. I don't know. But, like, yeah, a lot of these that are lower amounts they probably got their money back already because they've paid it and now they just have it. And long term, that will be better for them because if 10 years down the line, let's say Dragon Ball The Breakers is still on Game Pass and someone goes to play it, they've probably made their 20 million back already. So this is probably long term worse for successful developers and better for Microsoft because long term they're not getting the sales that they would be.
Yes.
They're just getting the upfront flat fee.
Worse for the studios, better for the platform, in essence.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And this is also probably contributing to why Microsoft, turns around and kills studios that they've purchased, even if they've made successful games, because it's like I said before, they probably don't have the same amount of data to know that it's a I know you didn't like Hi-Fi Rush Arch, but everyone loved it. It's a successful game by all metrics. And Microsoft closed the studio.
Hold on, 1 second.
I know you didn't like it.
NTR
It's okay.
Rush is a successful game by all metrics, except for the fact that it killed its studio.
No. Listen.
Proceed.
Microsoft closed the studio, though. And this is the point, though, is that, Microsoft closed the studio, and the vast majority of people who played Hi-Fi Rush did it through Game Pass. So they didn't know how much or how well that game had actually done.
Yeah.
That's a reasonable thing to point out, I think.
I agree, but I'll still say that it killed its studio. But it's successful, except for the murder.
Service guarantee.
It's Microsoft. Microsoft's holding the fucking knife on that one, Arch.
Sure, but it's dead, isn't it? I see its corpse.
Listen. You can't just look at a corpse and be like, well, no idea who killed that, but it must have been his fault.
Well, no, I know who killed it, but he was walking through Compton wearing designer clothing. I'm not gonna accuse the poor murderer of this. He was asking for it.
Okay, jokes aside, you know what I'm getting at is that Microsoft has complained about there was a recent interview that went viral. It was fucking wild. Microsoft was like, we need more mid-sized studios that make decent smaller games on Game Pass, and I'm like, you're fucking closing them. What are you doing here? You remember that? Did you see that interview?
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. So I think even though there's a lot of decent short-term profit in the as a service model, I think the lack of information is just gonna fuck them long term. They're gonna be closing studios that they shouldn't be closing. They're making dumb deals for giant flops. It will eventually catch up with them.
It's
already happening with Netflix. It's happening with Disney Plus, and Game Pass is a little bit newer and a little bit more resilient, but it will happen with them eventually, I think.
It's also because the service itself is in a problematic position, right? Because you need the big name titles to get people to subscribe. You need the Star Wars, Lord of the Rings to get people in the door, to open the wallets for $15 a month. But to keep them there, you then need to constantly give them something new. Because you're going to play Baldur's Gate 3 for a week or two, but that's not going to be enough to keep you going for a second month of Game Pass. So they need more stuff. So they need both the high-name titles and the volume of decent-looking, good but not that expensive games at the same time. And the issue is, in a market where everyone is trying to be the next Fortnite, you don't have that. Because the exact reason why, the reason why they probably shut down NTR Rush is because Bethesda were looking at their costs and going okay, well, you didn't make the next Skyrim, so get out the door. Literally. Because everyone has ridiculous expectations now. The Spider-Man game, how many hundreds of millions of dollars did that need to earn?
I'm not sure.
Let me look that up. Because that had a ridiculous development cost of several hundred millions.
Here, let's see. Spider-Man cost $300 million.
$300 million.
Insomniac leak. Spider-Man 2 needed to sell 7.2 million copies to be profitable.
There you go.
How many sales has it had?
Not a lot.
I mean,
I mean,
aside from Ugly
it-
Mary Jane, it's actually like an okay game.
It did okay, I think. But
Well,
again,
after
7 million
6 months,
sales is
yeah, after 6 months they sold 11 million, so they eventually earned it back. Yeah.
okay. But again, there you go, like $300 million. They needed 7 million for it
Heresy's
to
the question.
break even, basically,
Fire
and they
is the
sold
answer.
11. You've still only got you haven't earned enough to finance your next game then, because you need to earn like double that, because you need to first make a profit on the first one, and then you've got all of the running costs in making that game. Then you need to finance the next game. If that game is going to cost $300 million as well, you in essence need to earn like $600 million just to keep your fucking company running at that point. And that's before you assume things like actually earning a profit, like for your shareholders and so on.
Yeah. It's rough. And I guess the issue like is I don't know, they're like that being a Nintendo cuck, I have a different view of the market because Nintendo is in a very unique position that like pretty much only Blizzard found themselves in until Blizzard shot themselves in the foot like 10 years ago. But basically with Nintendo, they don't focus on this sort of thing. I mean, you have to on some level, but like they just like make a good game, and then if it has to be delayed, they delay it. If it needs more work, they put more work into it. And I think doing that consistently for decades has created a very loyal fan base, which is why the Switch has 100 million units sold. And then with a platform like that, you can put out like a Mario Kart game. There's a port from the Wii U Mario Kart game and get like 20 million sales easy, just instantly, right? So it's one of those things where like you have to cultivate certain habits in your company to attract a certain type of install base, and it takes decades to do so, but that's the only way you can be like sustainable and profitable. And all these companies seem to be going for like short-term profits.
Yeah, like because you mentioned World of Warcraft, or well, Blizzard, or more correctly, right? And you're right. They used to be a company that was known for incredible polish, like Hearthstone. Like love it or hate it as the casual little card game it is, it had incredible polish. And that was what Blizzard was known for. They didn't put out anything without having polished it and perfected it. And that image was
Heresy's the
slowly
question.
degrading
Fire is
after
the
many
answer.
World of Warcraft expansions. And then Warcraft 3 Reforged arrived and just broke the back of any remaining goodwill that Blizzard has. And now, Blizzard's not even making games anymore. It's just this decaying giant trundling along on World of Warcraft subscriptions as people, for some mysterious fucking reason, still play that game.
Blame Kibbs.
Oh, I do blame Kibbs.
But yeah, there was a handful of companies that could basically do no wrong in the eyes of gamers.
Yep.
And
Bethesda
of
was
them,
one
I
of
think,
them.
yep, Bethesda and Blizzard. I think Nintendo's the last one left. They're the last man standing.
They probably are. Like Bethesda has long since sold out. Fallout 76 was a disaster from the first goddamn day. Activision Blizzard, Christ. The worst part is, if they would just make a fucking game, it would sell. I guarantee you, if Warcraft 4 came out, and even if it was ass, it was terrible, it was a buggy fucking mess, it would sell 100 million copies on day one before anyone even noticed, and then Blizzard would just ride off in the sunset. That's what they did with Diablo 3. It was terrible. It didn't even work for most people for a
Service
week
guarantees
on
citizenship.
launch. It still sold like mad.
Oh, CD Projekt Red was one of them too. They still
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of are. Like they recovered a lot after Cyberpunk's buggy launch.
Heresy's the
I don't
question.
know,
Fire
honestly.
is
Like
the answer.
Cyberpunk inflicted some serious damage on the companies, and with their ESG stance, I feel like their public PR is still pretty shit. The expansion did a little bit to rectify it, but it's going to be their next Witcher title that makes or breaks that company again, I think.
They are making Witcher 4, aren't they?
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah.
and obviously Lumi,
Oh.
FromSoft, of course, is one of those
Yeah.
companies that can do no wrong. That's right, yeah. Because damn, pretty much everything they put out's been great.
I still can't get over the fact that Shadow of the Erdtree was originally going to be the second Elden Ring, but then Miyazaki was like, not good enough. Make it DLC.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's something interesting. All right. Are you like a big FromSoft fan, or do you just like Souls games?
I'm just into the Souls games, but my boyfriend has told me all about their other games, including Armored Core. He was yapping to me about Armored Core for like 3 days, which was really fucking cute. But
It's a good game.
what was the other one? Kingsfield is one that he wants me to play.
So I was in when I would have been quite young, but I was very in love with Lost Kingdoms, which is a 2002 card game on the GameCube made by FromSoft, from before they made Demon Souls. And I'm like, man, what a great game! And then like Lost Kingdoms 2 comes out, it's like, what a great game! This is amazing. Child dev was happy, right? And I keep waiting for like Lost Kingdoms 3. But then they make Demon Souls, and I'm like, oh, this took off massively. Oh, you're only doing Souls games now. Oh, I'm never seeing a new Lost Kingdoms game, am I? Shit.
Should have bought more copies, Dev.
I'm waiting for them just to, randomly throw out a remaster or like, a new game for either Kingsfield, or maybe they'll surprise you with a remaster of Lost Kingdoms or Lost Kingdoms 3. Who knows?
Let's hope.
I'm still huffing my Bloodborne copium. I am high on that shit 24/7. I got Bloodborne tattoos. I got the Bloodborne board game that I threw like $150 at, which
Nice.
the figurines are great. I love them so much. I have the art book. I have figurines. I'm getting the updated art book. I want Bloodborne, please.
Oh man. Well, actually, real quick, yes, someone just donated $5. Dev, you're wrong yet again. Xbox has metrics. They can track playtime, achievements, etc. They know how popular a Game Pass game is. No, I'm not saying they don't. I'm saying that whatever metrics they have are not going to be as translatable as just a sale of a game. And that's important to understand, right? Is like if you get Xbox Game Pass because you want to play, I don't know, fucking, what's even good on it? I don't fucking know what this. Okay, let's say you pick it up because you want to play Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Okay, that's a big headline game. It's right in the front, advertised. You're a big Star Wars fan. You want to play it. Okay, so that's why you buy Game Pass. That's the reason you give Microsoft money. But then, like in between, you decide to try out like one of their Yakuza games because they're also on Game Pass. Right? It's like, well, that's a game you wouldn't have tried out had you not gotten Game Pass. So how, like, they know that you played it, but they don't know why you gave them your money. That's the different that's the difference, right? So because if I buy a copy of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and then I buy a copy of Yakuza, the company knows what I bought. It's not as easy to figure out, is what I'm saying.
Service guarantees.
It is easier to track the simple sales. That is true.
We are on a big, long tangent.
A couple of the super chats as well, and then we'll do the other topic, which is the Disney tapes. That will be a big one. And hey, we've talked about how the companies are ruining themselves. We've got
my power flickered for a second there. Fun.
We got a storm
outside. Yeah,
I'm in one too. Yeah.
Drunk Atheist. Arch, I've been listening to you for years. You honestly need to drop the bimbo. She'll only drag you down. Western women are trash. Okay, Dev. That's another anti-Dev comment.
The question. Fire
is it?
The answer.
Oh.
Karan Frasa, hello Art, hello Fishwoman. First time donating to the stream, says I do rarely do this in general. Do you have a Patreon or something the like, because like kind of contribution more than stream donos? Also keep the German Latinx. She is superior. I do have a Patreon, yes. I think it's even in the description. Maybe, who knows. Prism Warrior. Greetings, Arch the Great. Thank you. Now, I really enjoy the Cyber Crusade lore videos you have done so far. Question for Arch. Dev, the chronically late and hungry one, and the new person. Do you prefer cat girls, dog girls, or fox girls? And your reason for why?
All?
Service guarantees citizenship.
The Joe Cat answer. Dev. Disgusting.
Mm-hmm. Listen, Joe Cat was completely correct. I will not be moved off this position.
Disgusting.
He knew what was going on.
2X.
He knew what was going on.
I would have to say Fox Girls.
But
It
foxes are
would be
assholes.
weird. No, it's like I don't want a pet cat girl or a pet dog girl. I already have pet cats and dogs. I don't need female on top of it. So, Fox.
Definitely dog. It's the only reliable one out of the 3 options. Holtonator, Dev isn't superstar, but equal what a lot of progressives thought leaders wanted. Didn't many of them oppose Brown v. Board?
What the fuck does that even mean?
I don't know either.
Can you paste it? Just paste it to me in DM, I guess.
Sometimes you people write weird things. There, I'll put in the link chat.
Okay.
Or Brown v. Board.
That's Brown versus Board of Education. That's like a U.S. racial thing.
Well, Dev, you are a U.S. racial thing on occasion.
Am I?
Sometimes.
I'm not even American. Let's see. Brown versus Board of Education. That's right. This was the big one. Racial segregation in public schools is unconstitutional, even if the segregated schools are otherwise equal in quality. Yeah, so this is like what's it called? Yeah, right of association thing, right? Is you probably shouldn't have a school that says no whites can go here or no blacks can go here. That's probably a bad idea, right? But if you do have a school that just so happens to be majority one population, because all the people have collectively chosen that, that's probably fine. So that seems to be the right of free association balance. And on either side, you have ethnonats who are like, no, all institutions must be made separate. We have to have only like white only spaces, and that's to be enforced, and like et cetera, et cetera. And then you have like on the other side, you have people who are saying, no, we must be ideologically committed to making people mix. And it's like, no, both of these are stupid. Just leave people alone. Let them do whatever they want.
And then there's a group of leftists going, yes, racial segregation is the solution to white violence.
They did loop back around, yeah.
Zero says, great to see you all. Archdev Tortilla the Hun.
Shut the fuck up. Please,
What's this
speak
all
like
about?
a normal person.
Tortilla the Hun?
Lumi has a hard time pronouncing Spanish words. I'm trying to teach her.
It's tortilla.
Oh, Tortilla.
Mike Campos, been a member for 1 month. Deport the orcs. I feel like D&D doesn't quite understand the potential can of worms they've opened by the Mexican orcs here, but we'll see.
I mean, hey, it's like if you want to compare it to Mexicans in the U.S., you know that over 53% of U.S. Mexicans support the mass deportation idea.
Are they all legal, basically?
The legal ones want all the illegal
Service
ones to go
guarantees
back to where they
citizenship.
came from.
Yeah, it's pretty normal. Like, if you went through the process, you're not going to want people to jump the line, you know? It's pretty normal.
Exactly.
Rocking 2740. Archman is gender-neutral word. The correct way to address a male human in English is actually wereman. I don't believe you. Dragon Soup. Congress closed out a prayer with amen and a woman. That's great. Oh, I love our gendered language. Our gender language is wonderful because now people are looking at words that have no actual relation to gendered language and just enforcing it upon it. We need to destroy our own language as quickly as humanly possible. Replace it with, I don't know, fucking binary or something.
Is it Esperanto?
So, John, the greenbacks aren't sending their best. Greenbacks, they're not even green anymore. They're gray. God, the orcs aren't even green anymore. Jesus, I hate the fucking orcs.
Oh my god. Okay, I forgot about this. Have you guys seen this? How to say non-binary in Spanish?
What?
Read that.
Ah, that one, yes.
What the fuck?
How do you say non-binary in Spanish? The term non-binary can be translated to Spanish as I can't fucking pronounce this. You do it, Lumi. I can't fucking pronounce it.
I will say it in the most white way for you guys. It'll sound like it just says no no Beanarino and no Beanarina. That's how I will pronounce it for you guys. You're still gonna call Mexicans beaners. Just a no beaners.
Depending on the gender of the person. The whole point of non-binary is they don't have a gender. So, it's fucking hilarious.
No beaners.
If you don't have a gender, one will be appointed for you.
So here's the thing. Every single person that I've met who has said, I'm non-binary, give it a year or two, they all either just went back to, being normal. They just kind of gave it up. Or they actually were trans and they transitioned fully. And I'm like, listen, it seems like non-binary isn't actually a real thing. It's just kind of what you do when you're like, you're test running transitioning. You know what I mean?
You know what, Dev? That's a great fucking point. There's no such thing as bi. You're only test running being gay.
Well, didn't I land on straight then because I'm with a woman?
Nope.
Arch, I haven't
Cover
touched
story.
a penis that isn't mine in a very long time.
You touch one anyways. It's fine. It matters for the same time. Harmonic Drive. Progressive people did neutral gender out of generic masculine nouns, but only if it suits them. So instead of soldat, it's soldatinnen. Of course, yeah. It's a one-way road, of course. Marksman 117B. Are we not the greatest of invaders? No wall too high, no moat too deep, no distance too far. We will spread everywhere. Latinx power, Latinx supremacy.
No.
Master Huntsman 97. Hello, Arch. Have you heard of the new 4 Starship Troopers Terran Command? The new 4 Starship Troopers. The new bugs look cool and ugly. The good kind, not the bad kind. I have seen it. I'm wondering if I'm going to do anything about it. Boog says, say it with me. Ku e sa daila tortaila.
Boog, why do you hate me?
See, Boog is actually Mexican. He can probably pronounce tortilla better than you.
It's just tortilla!
Marksman of 117B. The orcs are rancheros type Mexicans from Old Cali. Rancheros. I presume this means they own a ranch. Artemis Fowl, hold on, Arch. Do not skip over the dwarf image from this collection too. You have to show that one. I did. The Hellion Juggalo. Arch, a 2-year-old video from a bread is making the algorithm rounds. It's due for roasting. It's called the Alt-Right in Tabletop by Snow TTRPG. Right, Dev, as the local socialist representative, what is Snow TTRPG and what is this video? He's pooping again.
I have no idea. I have no idea. Was it okay? Snow TTRPG. Who the fuck is this person? I can't even find them.
Hey, you Google it for me. I don't want that on my timeline.
Oh. I'm not sure I like what I found already.
Oh.
Okay, wait. What's the name of the video? What's the name of the video?
The alt-right in tabletop.
Okay. Let's see what comes up. Oh, this is a 2-year-old video. It must have just taken off. Sometimes old videos will take off like that randomly. No idea why. Man, every once in a while, you'll stumble on a video from a few years back. And the videos are like from very far left YouTube. And they make no real arguments. They're just shaming. It's like, I'm making a video essay about this topic where I shit on this YouTuber. What did you do wrong? Well, he owns guns. And he's friends with another far-right guy. Therefore, he must be evil. And YouTube should ban him. But it's going to take me an hour to say this sentence. And I'm like, your content's worthless. Like, why are you even here?
Dev, why are you being mean to this person? Is it non-binary?
I don't fucking know. It's a gender goblin.
Ah. Well, chat, now Dev will make a reaction video to it too. So Jod, oh God help me. Jod Hoppers, and the girl has the California buzz cut. They do that.
Heresy's the question. Fire is the
mechanics
answer.
really need to mention how they are built like half-orcs now? Oh, I mean, fuck yes. It's just one more thing, isn't it? They're human in every respect. Their clothing, their appearance, their behavior, their actual physique. It's
Service guarantees
people.
citizenship.
It's people crossing the border, happily. You know, honestly, I'd prefer it if the Mexicans came over the border with hunting hawks. At least that would rekindle that fanciful hobby amongst the
Heresy's
American
question.
populace.
Fire is the answer.
Sean King, what is the Wizard of the Coast trying to say about Mexicans? They're an invasive species, I suppose. What the fuck? 1A? Dev, should I buy the 4th edition on Crit Theory today, or find another way to pull a Marks, lol? Hi Arch, might I suggest you keep an eye out on the new Monster Hunter game coming out? Could be nothing, could be a DEI starting there soon.
Don't buy Critical Theory today unless you have to buy it for a class or something. It's literally just a series of essays from other writers. It's a textbook. It's not an actual book. It's a textbook made for schools. So I have it because I went to school and took that bullshit, but there's no reason for you to buy it if you're not going to school. Just actually get the books it pulls from, or the essays or whatever.
This is your daily reminder that Dev's major in school was wokist theory.
Unfortunately.
Midril, a fan knows the difference between the canon and fan fiction and can enjoy both. An anti-fan cannot, and deliberately conflates the two. That they do. Bill Skirnir, 3124, Tolkien's Uruk-hai, the unnatural black skin, twisted faces and bodies, and the unending thirst for blood, man-flesh, and raiding, only held in check by the will of their master and creator, Best Orc. There was also the corruption aspect to them, as they were originally elves. The darkness at the core of a man's soul. I like those orcs. Anatlope, what's better overall, Bioshock series or Fallout series, as both are sorts of post-apocalyptic and retro-futuristic? Overall, I would say Bioshock, honestly, just because it plays a lot better. I remember playing Fallout 1 and 2 a little bit too well to have rose-tinted glasses for those video games. Critical Orc Theory, Manifest Orc Destiny. They will reclaim Texas for their master, Santa Anna, the Napoleon of the West.
Heresy's the question.
Why you hating?
Fire
Hey
is
Lars,
the
you thought of
answer.
the new Sisters of Battle update. I think the mods look cool. I almost caved and gave GW money. Forgive me, a Lord Inquisitor. There will be no forgiveness for this. I haven't seen them yet. I'm presuming they're covered up in burkas at this point. Sandoom, it looks like they made Stephen Hawking's a gay elf. I mean, why not? Magnus, even women are being reduced to just a dude. Well, yeah, like that's the next thing we gotta get rid of, the gender binary. In fact, we're already working on that.
That's why it's body type A, body type B.
Yep. Big Cap,
It's so dumb.
the only cool combat wheelchair is Gideon Ravenous. At least put guns on it, make it armored or something, Jesus.
Man, you know what?
Heresy's the
Body type
question.
A and B
Fire
doesn't
is the
even
answer.
like do anything because okay, let's say that you want to be inclusive to trans people. Okay, got it. Do you know what a trans woman's going to do when they pick up a game?
Pick body type B.
They're going to make a woman character because that's the fantasy that they want to live. So they're going to do it. Like it's so dumb. It's no one doesn't matter if you're trans or not. No one thinks of themselves as body type B. I fucking hate these people, man.
That's correct. Nobody thinks of themselves as sexuality bi. I will not let this go down.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
And actually, on the topic of fucking somebody, the Disney tapes. Let's move on to that topic now, because that is looking like a royal rogering of Michael Giordani, Pet Mexican.
Giordano?
Pronounce.
Giordano? Wait, isn't that Italian?
I
Giordano?
fucking know.
Wait, Lumi, are you here?
A Mexican has abandoned
Yeah,
me.
I'm here. I was just talking.
Oh,
I didn't want to be rude. Now what am I doing?
okay. Welcome back.
Pronounce Giordano for me.
Oh, I need to look at the fucking word. How high up is it?
Michael Giordano. It's in the latest tweet. I'm pretty sure it's
Michael-
Italian, not Mexican.
You sure?
Heresy's the question.
To be fair, there's a lot of
Fire is the
overlap
answer.
between Italian and Spanish.
Yeah, I was about to say, explain to me the differential between an Italian and a Mexican.
That does not look like a Mexican last name.
Yeah, it's Italian. That's definitely Italian.
Are you sure about that?
I'm pretty sure about that.
I don't know. Okay. Because I don't know if there's any difference. Okay.
Yeah.
It's all Southern Europeans, eh?
Is a popular last name in Italy.
Service guarantees
Yep.
citizenship.
Let me put forth the argument here, okay? Mexico and Italy is the same place. In all respects. The people are the same people, okay? Their flags.
Heresy's
Their
the
flags
question.
are
Fire is the
identical,
answer.
okay? They're not being subtle about this.
Arch. Tacos versus pasta. Very different food.
Yeah, but they probably stole the tacos from somebody else. I don't know who.
Oh no! Don't forget. According to North Korea, the great supreme leader made burritos and tacos.
There you go.
Oh, did he? Damn.
According to North Korea, he made everything.
Mexicans and Italians are the same thing. That's how Michael Giordani here has a job in
Heresy's the
America.
question.
You don't get a
Fire
job in
is the
America if you're
answer.
Italian dev.
Are you going to include Greeks in this as well, just to make the Southern Europe trifecta complete?
Okay. Old school Greeks, old school Greeks are okay, but modern Greeks, what is the difference between a modern Greek and a Turk? I ask you.
How many wars do you want to fight over that, Arch?
Quite a few, honestly. As far as I'm concerned, anything south of Germany is
Service
suspect, and
guarantees
even Germany's a
citizenship.
little bit wobbly these days.
That's the best thing about Canada. We're pretty far north.
We really should just make it all Africa now and just have like Scandinavia and a portion of Germany above it and like be Europe.
We'll just call Southern Europe Northern Africa.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to this. They can fight with the rest of the Africans over the foreign aid. But the truism that Mexican Italians are literally the same thing aside, James O'Keefe was cooed straight up from Project Veritas quite a while ago. and he has now started his own stuff, even as Project Veritas has not done anything of particular note ever since. And he managed to get the senior vice president and team lead at 20th Television from the Walt Disney Company on record saying, well, what we all already knew in reality, but hey, it's nice to have evidence, isn't it? For the devs amongst us who will sit there going, but the government has not made a ruling yet.
Just provide evidence, you fucking schizo. That's all.
But the state has not yet spoken. Is recorded video evidence truly enough, Dev?
Hold on, what'd you say? Sorry?
No, see, he's already beginning to doubt it.
No, I didn't hear you, Arch. You cut
That's
out.
the cope.
What did you say, Arch?
Is recorded video evidence good enough, Dev?
Of course, depending on what it is.
Depending on what it is. There it is.
Well, yes, Arch. Okay, listen. Okay, if you give me a video and you're like, Dev, this proves that Hillary Clinton should be in jail, and I open it up, and it's just you on a toilet, and you'd be like, well, it's a video. It's a video of something, but I don't know if it proves what you fucking say. So let's see what's in the video.
Dev. Well, the essence of the video is he mentions several things specifically. It's a 20-minute one, so I'm just going to bring up some of the highlights. One of the things he says is, there is no way we are hiring a white male. Okay. It is difficult for a white male to be promoted, even with 11 years in the company and friends in the HR, as he himself claims to have been passed over because, you know, I don't think he's actually white. He's Italian, goddammit. But he himself thinks that he is passing. I might disagree, but Disney does not. So he hasn't got promoted in ages, and he has been told pretty much to his face that it's because he, despite being a Mexican-Italian, appears correctly bleached. He also mentioned that a half-black person was passed over for promotion because he did not appear half-black. He did not have the adequate melanin count for being accepted into the upper echelons of Disney. And he also mentions, and I don't... See, this is one of those things. He says that there is a sense of the upper leadership in Disney that what they are doing is good for society. That I buy, because these people probably have a savior complex the size of their own personal kingdoms. And they also says that they think this will earn them money. Now, this is the interesting thing, because I think it's been fairly solidly proven at this point that wokeism is not very profitable. But the logic that they use comes right out of the HR department. It is that if you're selling a product to more people, then more people will buy the product, which sounds logical until you actually then finally look at the actual sales and you realize that people aren't apparently picking up this product, even if you are, quote-unquote, marketing it to them.
So wait a second. Why do you think I would be against this? This is what I told you like 6 months ago.
Because, Deb, over the course of the last about 2 years now, I have carefully constructed a narrative where you are cast as the state's puppet.
Even though that's not true?
Yeah, and I'm not going to give this one up anytime soon.
Yeah, because I remember coming to you and saying, like, listen, the CEOs, they're definitely motivated by money. And you have, it's people in middle management who are promoting this idea to them.
Mm-hmm.
This makes sense. Yeah.
And they now the thing that I object to there is that I think that's a cope. I think that is a straight up cope at this point. The whole like, oh, it'll totally earn us more money. That is a cope. Because we've heard the Disney shareholder meetings where Bob Iger's again and again going, yeah, Disney Plus still ain't earning any money, but next year. And then it comes next year. Yeah, it's still not earning any money, but our fleet of cruise ships are doing pretty well. Then comes next year. It's the same thing. I do not believe that these execs truly believe anymore that this is profitable. If they do, it isn't that they believe that it is profitable now. I think they might still be swallowing the HR line that is telling them, like, hold on, it's just around the corner. The progressive audience, it's just right there. They're so close to finally coming to our rescue and making us profitable, bro. Just hold on for another year.
Well, the thing is I'm sure people who, the investors, billions of dollars throwing it around to invest, like, venture capitalists, they're probably used to that because it does sometimes take many years for a company to truly take off, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so if you have somebody who is used to investing in a tech startup that isn't profitable until a decade in, but then it starts like bringing in tons of money, they're probably convinced by this idea of, oh, if I just keep throwing more money at it, it'll actually work out.
Well, the difference is that this is not a very small tech startup.
True. This is Disney.
Yes, this is Disney. And because you are right? Many of these things require long periods of growth before profitability. Like Uber, for example, was losing money like mad. Warhammer Plus, to take it on a smaller scale with that thing. That is designed to lose money for like 3 or 4 or 5 years before they're starting to expect a profit from it. This, incidentally, is one of the reasons why we are not seeing any new companies anymore outside of like the mainstream big companies, because there is no way for a private individual to create Google today. Because you are going to need hundreds of millions of dollars in seed capital to even stand a chance to grow and exist on the scale and the size of the people who are going to be your competitors. But that's a bit more of an off-the-topic point.
Yeah, in terms of Disney, I mean, Disney's established, obviously, but it could be the case where, like, you have people come in with new ideas and, like, this will make us money. And the people who are already there, even though Disney's established, they can very easily justify, well, new ideas do take some years of growth to get going. Maybe this will work out. But I mean, how long has it been since The Last Jedi? What was that, 2015? Well, no, 2017. Like, when did that movie come out? It has been enough time for them to realize that there's no money coming out of this cow.
Well, I would happily argue that this happened a lot earlier than that, because the first, like, beginnings of this came back from very early gaming. You remember way back when they started talking about the wider audience. And this was in like the difficulty debate. Like, oh, video games are too easy. Maybe they could use like or too hard. Maybe they could use like a easy mode to bring in the wider audience.
Yeah, that goes back a lot further, actually, because you can go back to the 80s where gaming was just for nerds.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sony marketed to a wider audience by bringing in the cool kids who used to bully gamers. And then Nintendo marketed to the wider audience by bringing in non-gamers with the Wii. Like, this is something that has consistently happened, that a market tries to get more money by branching out into new consumer bases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem with wokeism is that the new consumer base doesn't really exist. And this is because at a certain point, there is no such thing as the wider audience for a particular product. There is such a thing as the wider audience, as in not the current audience, right? As you mentioned, you can go, there's a lot of grandparents at home, like, who probably would like a dumbass exercise game or something. Let's give them something. That's a new audience. But when you're making a total war game, you can't then go, we'd like to get into the Call of Duty audience. Yeah,
exactly, right. I mean, none of those grandparents who still own and play Wiis because it's the only thing that gets them moving. None of them are picking up like Zelda Skyward Sword or something, right? Completely different audiences.
Yeah. Because there's the difference. There are different audiences, but not necessarily wider audiences. And the problem with the Disney Wars things is that it is targeting a specific audience. There are only so many people in the current year that are interested in fully clothed, chanting lesbian space witches, creating force babies. It's a very small percentage of the overall actual community there.
You know what? How did they fuck that up? Because that sounds like a fetish hentai right there.
Oh, very easily. Like I said, they all made them fully clothed and remarkably ugly.
Yeah, but that could have been like the lead up to the cult orgy where they all disrobe.
Yeah, it could have, but it didn't.
That's the problem. Listen, slap like a 20-minute lesbian orgy scene in there, and you would have had a winner with the Acolyte. I promise you.
Like,
yeah, but they're also trying to keep it like family friendly, quote unquote.
Oh, they're
That's
not.
okay. They already expose sexual content to kids anyway. It's still
Yeah.
family friendly. Okay.
It, yeah. It's still sad that the lesbian space witches can't count more than 2.
Yeah. It's still sad that they took a concept like lesbian space witches and somehow ruined it, because that should have been like a money printer.
There
I
was
mean,
there
for
was a
porn,
thing.
yeah. That's a huge moneymaker right there.
Service guarantees
Not even just
citizenship.
for porn. Like, this is the thing that attracts the male audience, the paying audience. It's one of the most remarkable things that we've managed to turn lesbians into something that turns men off these days. That is a genuine achievement.
It took a lot. It took a fucking lot to do, man.
It was really hard, but they managed it. I can't remember the damn name of this thing now, but you can look at the classic like Conan covers, like the Boris Vallejo paintings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a very simplistic appeal here. Simplistic appeal, hot female character, big strong male. You're appealing to the broadest possible audience. Men who like hot women and women who like hot men.
Yep.
There is literally no broader appeal in existence. Whereas Star Wars has been going the exact opposite direction all this time.
Mm-hmm.
And again, they know this. The investors know this, and there is a certain degree of like startup where they're going to give them time to build up their brand, etc. But again, it's Disney. The brand is built. The brand already exists. They're not waiting for the profit to finally come around for logical reasons. It is primarily ideological. And now that we also know this more like directly, proof related from within the company, this also explains in large part why it's taking them so long to change. Because if these people are indeed only elevating people that have the correct both skin color, and I guarantee you political persuasion, this isn't something as simple as Bob Iger, stepping down from up on high and going, hey, make a Star Wars movie again, Because they'll take that and go, lesbians in space.
Yeah, because all the people who know how to make an actual Star Wars movie have left.
Yeah.
They're not there anymore.
All the people who are working there. Because he also mentioned, I think in this interview,
Heresy's
that
the
something along the
question.
lines of
Fire is the answer.
30% of their top writers were queer in some way.
Okay.
Well,
What does he mean by
explains a
that
lot.
exactly?
Well, he means they're
Does
gay.
Yeah, well, no. Does he mean gay or does he mean have a shaved head? Like, what is he?
Well,
You can't fucking know anymore.
That is actually a good question. I presume he means queer as in politically queer. As in, you talked about this with Linus Tech Tips, didn't you? That random woman
Yep.
who introduced herself as queer, despite obviously not being that, because this is now a political signifier. It is like, oh yeah, like I'm a regular guy like you. I believe the correct things, The Germans did this by a simple hand salute. We have a verbal equivalent.
Yeah, I looked into her because I was like, listen, are you bi? Do you mean that? And this is just a person who wears big hoop earrings and has like curly long hair and runs around in jumpsuits. And I'm just like, okay, so by queer you just mean strange, which to be fair is what queer used to mean before it meant gay, right? It just means strange. So it's like, okay, but now we've looped back around to where we're at that position again, where there's nothing that's actually LGBT, any four of those things about you. You're just a person with an alt personality type and an alt fashion sense. And so now you're counted in the rainbow. It's so fucking dumb.
Mm-hmm. And so clearly they are hiring people for this. And again, if you hire for the Acolyte a lesbian showrunner who hires her lesbian wife to make the gayest Star Wars ever, as they said, are you then surprised that you end up with the gayest Star Wars ever?
Have you been watching The Acolyte? Either of you?
No. I've been watching people
Service
suffer for
guarantees
me,
citizenship.
but I haven't watched it myself.
I have watched it
I
just to
kind
keep
of-
up with it. And now that Lumi's replacement Kib, Lumi will be watching the next Acolyte.
Oh, I kind of want to see it just to see. I'm curious.
I mean, if we want one night just to grab alcohol, sit, watch, and laugh, I think that's the only way to be able to go through it without losing our goddamn minds.
Lumi,
do you want to record that or just do?
you think I'm letting you dull your senses? No,
I think
no.
it would be fun.
It must be taken in fully.
We could do that with Rings of Power. Just to get god-awful drunk and just watch and laugh.
We did that with Rings of Power once before. It was fucking terrible. Oh my god. No, we shot like it was for my channel. We shot like watch-alongs with 4 of us, and it was Rings of Power, and then it was The Last of Us. And I was like, these fucking suck, man. Like they just suck all around because the shows suck. They get less views than normal, and like the experience isn't that fun because it's just terrible. God, there's like nothing good about it.
And that's the good part.
It's
There's
bad when
nothing
the
good?
alcohol doesn't make it better.
Now, what is one more interesting, though, than just like this? Because, in essence, this is news we already knew. But remember, Disney's currently being sued by a lot of people. It's being sued for gender discriminatory pay practices in California. It is being sued for firing Gina Carano for political reasons, she alleges. And there is the whole thing with Elon Musk tweeting out their hiring practices. They're also being sued by, I don't remember their organizational name. Something America, for discriminatory hiring practices. And, well, this seems like proof of discriminatory hiring practices at Disney.
I wonder if it's probably not admissible in court, is it?
Well, this was taken in California, I think. Let's see, what is California law about recording?
Well, I don't mean that. I don't mean in terms of like a one-party state. I mean in terms of like, does this count as evidence per the court standard? Like if I sat here with you, Arch, and we had like an off-the-cuff conversation, and you recorded me, and I just said stuff that was completely fucking false, and I knew it was. I don't know. It's one of those things where maybe it would count. I'm not sure. I have to look into it.
I think it would, like, because it could be used as corroboratory evidence, if nothing else, because you could then bring this up along with the hiring practices, because he also mentions that they're very careful to word it in such a way as to not get into immediate legal trouble, you know? Now, unfortunately, I just looked this up. In California, it is a criminal offense to use any device to record communications, whether they're via oral, or electronic, without the consent of everyone taking part in the communication. So no, this will not be admissible in court.
Well, Boog says that the recordings are made in Florida, and in Florida it's a one-party consent state.
Florida,
so maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll check.
Listen, Florida's definitely one-party consent state, for sure.
Florida recording law stipulates that it is a two-party consent state.
Really?
Google.
I'm really surprised. Hold on.
Florida recording law stipulates that it is a two-party consent state. In Florida, it is a criminal offense to use any device to record communications, whether they are wire, oral, or electronic, without the consent of everyone taking part in the communication.
I'm very surprised, to be honest.
It's like I know James O'Keefe knows like the law fairly well, so it's like,
Heresy's the question.
do we know for sure where they recorded this?
There is an exception here. Public discourse. Recording someone speaking openly in a public space is legal, as nobody involved would have a reasonable expectation of privacy. And they are in public. They're at a restaurant, but I think that would count as public.
Probably for the purposes of this. It is private property, but yeah.
So in that case,
there's like there's like private property where you are private, and there's private property where it's privately owned, but the public can access it, kind of thing.
Yeah, and this is a publicly accessible area.
Yep.
Mhm.
I mean, he is talking in the open as you see, like, waiters moving around and doing their thing, right?
Heresy's the question.
Okay, and
Fire
am I
is the
okay?
answer.
Right. There's time for like a civility check of the two of you. When the waiter comes to your table, do you stop speaking and you know, lean back, let him do his thing, and then go, thank you, and then continue speaking?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
it would be rude to continue talking.
It would be. Like, you need to acknowledge the service personnel doing their service part. Good. I'm not surrounded by barbarians. This is good. He doesn't, though, which means he's an asshole. That's very clear to me.
Wait, which one?
The
James
guy
or
being
the Disney
recorded.
guy? Oh, okay.
I mean, I think the woman keeps talking too, but, you know, women don't have civility, so...
I mean, they're trying to keep him talking, so it's like if they stop, then the conversation might get derailed.
Also, I wonder what their cameras look like. I wonder if they've got those fancy, like, spy button cams or something.
Probably because, like, this is supposed to be basically a double date with him going out on a date with these two women because they matched with him on Hinge, and that's how they got him out there.
I do
What is
fucking love
Hinge?
of the fact that they honey trapped his ass too. That's brilliant.
Hinge is a dating app.
Is it?
Yes.
Have people moved on from Tinder now?
I don't know. I've never used dating apps.
Yeah, neither have I. I don't fucking know.
I met my boyfriend in Final Fantasy 14.
The greatest dating app.
Hey, it was fun. Originally it was just like a mutual friend, and then they just kind of disappeared off the face of the earth, and then we just started talking.
Right, makes sense. Okay, I have to know. Did you do any of that before you guys met up? Did you do any of that cringe erotic RP shit in the game?
Before we met, yes, I did. I like writing. I've always
fair
been a
enough.
writer since I was younger. But then I stopped after I started dating him because then it just felt weird, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to Savage Rating instead.
Right. I mean,
What?
it is one of those things where, like, doing a lot of your old sexual habits once you have a partner and not including them can sometimes feel strange. It's like,
It was very easy just to stop because it's not like it was a crucial part of my life. It was just something fun to do.
right.
I'm sure Dev had a long history of ERPing as well.
Nope.
Hmm.
Dev innocent.
Well, I'll make that part of the new narrative. Chat. Long history of ERP. More believable than the diaper thing. Get on it.
Yeah. I was like playing World of Warcraft once where I walked by someone, like, it was an RP server because there's less PvP on RP servers. So I was like just playing the game normally, not RPing, but I walked by some people who were RPing in the Blood Elf starting area. And there was a fucking they were like RPing, like one of their characters was pregnant and giving birth. Like they're lying on the ground, and I'm like, this is fucking guys, just go outside.
Yeah, but Dev, it's difficult to RP pregnancies. Like, in real life, that's hard.
Have you seen the pregnancy bellies that some women buy? Like they look fucking legit, and it's horrifying because these women will spend hundreds of dollars to, try to trap a man with a baby, and then just suddenly, oh no, I got a miscarriage. I have seen
my
those.
God.
Those women are fucking disgusting.
Oh, that sounds fucking terrible.
That's way worse
She'll
than
look
what I
into it.
imagined.
Ugh.
See, when you said that, I just thought like, oh, fancy fetish material. And then you're like, oh no, it's for trapping people in relationship. Like, God damn it. Lumi, you're kind of terrible. How dare you?
It's like these things, like there's websites for this shit, and it's like they'll discreetly ship it to you in like another branding box, and it's just, ugh, I hate women like that.
To get your weird fetish stuff.
Yeah, to be fair, you don't want to see the markings plastered on the side of the box. It's just a giant brown box is delivered to your local post office. On the side, there's a Bad Dragon logo. Just the Anal Devastator written in giant stencils on the side. Yeah. I see the argument.
Yeah, makes sense, yeah.
Now, to move away from the Anal Devastator, and another form of anal devastation, this might actually then be admissible in court as corroborative evidence. And Disney is currently being sued for, I think, a grand total of almost $1 billion in total now. Even a company like Disney is going to be a little sad if they start losing that kind of money to legal action. And it'll open up yet further potential legal action. Like, everyone who didn't get a job at Disney now potentially has a lawsuit on their hands.
It's time for a class action.
Yep.
Do it.
Now, whether or not it'll happen, we'll see. But Disney has lost a lot of their legal protection now. Florida isn't really protecting them anymore. The Florida government, they've already settled with the government. They don't have their special district stuff anymore. And it's getting really hot around Disney. And they're getting a lot of accusations. A lot of people are talking to them, not in very positive ways. And this guy has completely deleted his online profile. His LinkedIn, everything is gone. He is dropped off the face of the earth. And maybe, if, they ever hire Hillary Clinton as a consultant, maybe literally.
Think he's still at Disney?
I mean, they can't fire him immediately, because that would look very, 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 very bad.
Oh, I looked him up. Apparently, he took a leave of absence.
Ah, that sounds more like it, yeah.
Yep, went on vacation.
Yep. And I imagine that leave of absence will last precisely as long as his official resignation time is.
They gave him free tickets to Disney World.
And James
unfortunately, one of the roller coasters will malfunction while he's on it.
Ah, tragic. James O'Keefe has more tapes that he'll be releasing in the usual form. This is now sitting at 6.9 million views on Twitter, which granted a Twitter view is somebody scrolled past it for like 2 seconds, but still, it's clearly got legs on it. I'm wondering what else he's got. Because I'm hoping for something a little... Like, I was sitting here hoping, it's like, yes, let's have a child slavery ring or something. Something big.
Child slavery ring?
Yeah, because we already knew this, right? This is something you already know. And if next week he comes out with, like, there's a gay agenda at Disney, I'm like, yeah, I know. They've told us.
Well, didn't we talk about this like a year ago when we discovered, like, Disney's private army or something?
I think so.
Hold on.
Because there was one of the producers for one of their television shows who came out on camera and was like, yes, I'm just adding queer everywhere I can. Gay, gay, gay. I remember that one because YouTube didn't like that video very much.
It was an ArchCast. It was like a year, I think it was like last summer sometime, and we were talking about
the answer.
Disney basically having like its own police force.
Oh, we talked about the extent of like the Disney private kingdom.
Yeah,
because they tried to give themselves like zoning rights and all kinds of stuff in perpetuity or till the death of the last living heir of the King of England or something retarded like that.
Yeah, that was. Oh, hold on, did I find it? No, basically, when DeSantis kind of went to war with Disney, he ended all that shit. But for a while, they were on track to like have like their own jurisdiction in the United States, which is fucking ridiculous.
Well, they for all intents and purposes had that. That was the thing. Like they were a nation in and of themselves within Florida. Like they had such enormous self-governance. It was ridiculous. Like we went.
Yeah, I found it. Yeah. Why Disney has its own government in Florida. My God.
Yep. That was the one. Because they had their own police force, they had their own firefighters, they had abilities to do zoning, they even had the ability to levy taxes on the people who lived there.
The Disney tax.
Yep.
But no, basically with DeSantis kind of, because of the whole grooming thing that really took off in 2022, the LGBT stuff, DeSantis went to war with Disney, Disney lost, and so a lot of this stuff has been stripped away. But for a while, just due to various deals Disney had with the government as a uniquely profitable employer in a major sector of the economy, it had all this preferential treatment. And yeah, so they had like, here we go. Disney had a special purpose district where it had responsibility for power, water, roads, fire protection, and also policing. They just became the government.
Yep, they were
in their area.
And that's gone too now. They're gonna pay extra taxes now as well. Like they've got to pay back taxes. Like Disney is in a really fucking terrible position. Like I genuinely think that we are probably going to see the death of Disney within our lifetimes.
Yeah. Assuming everything in the various court documents is true, yeah. It seems like they're getting fucked.
Wouldn't that be
Are you a believer, Arch? Are you a believer of the contents of court documents now?
No, I believe the evidence of my own eyes, and my evidence of my eyes right now is James O'Keefe talking about discriminatory hiring practices.
Awesome.
Now, I'm sure we'll get the government to comment on this eventually, Dev, so we'll get you on board sooner or later. And a last little small topic before we do the super chats is this one here, which I thought was a little interesting. So, Sweet Baby Inc., which we all know and love at this point, they've finally become the mark of Satan that I said we needed to turn them into, as investors in Square Enix are beginning to raise questions about the company's involvement with Sweet Baby Inc. Like some random Japanese dude who has a significant amount of money in Square Enix, some normie in all due likelihood, is finally beginning to wake up to these words and terms like, hey, why do we have this company on our payroll? Why are we paying these people that everyone hates? Well, how does this benefit us?
I wonder what they worked on. Let me think about it for a minute. Because Square Enix, they do Final Fantasy and like all that stuff, right? And I don't think they've worked on Final Fantasy at all. I don't think they've let them get near that. But Square Enix also does do Life is Strange. So they probably worked on that. Square Enix does Tomb Raider as well. So it's probably just their Western properties that that Square Enix works on.
On Final Fantasy VII, the remake, they worked with a company called Hit Detection LLC.
Okay.
And they're basically the same kind of thing in general. They're the same kind of like progressive consultant style company. And their list of games, which I'll give you right here, include Alan Wake 2, God of War Ragnarok, Back 4 Blood, that awful one, Crackdown 3, and Sonic Forces.
Oh.
Service guarantees citizenship.
All right. Those aren't necessarily great games. Let's see here. You can actually see their site, hitdetection.com, making games better for everyone. Let's see. Hit Detection is a video game consulting firm with a global presence. We bring decades of experience in games, media, consumer electronics, and interactive entertainment to deliver the most comprehensive and accurate insights to clients who have trusted us for many years. Our commitment to building a team from a variety of backgrounds, including underrepresented groups, is a superpower that allows us to provide unique and varied perspectives, setting us apart from other firms. That's really every firm, though. Every firm has
that is every firm. That's every company.
This diversity is a strength.
Diversity is strength.
Oh my god.
That gives us a natural advantage within the consultant landscape. Like, wow.
I want to see who works for this company. I mean, here's the thing. Everyone's talking about Sweet Baby Inc. because that was the big blow up. But I'm sure all these companies have a few skeletons in their closet, you know?
Oh yeah, like this was what I was talking about when this blew up as well. That this isn't an exception. Like Sweet Baby Inc. isn't some weird off-the-brand company that exists in isolation. There are hundreds of these companies.
Where is this company based, actually?
Hit Detection leverages its greatest strength to accurately predict media and consumer expectations. Again, judging by your list of video games, I'm not sure about this. I'm not certain.
No, there's something I want to see. Okay, it's located in the U.S. Okay. Well, no, here's the thing. A lot of these companies like this are based in Canada. And the main reason for that is because American companies, if they if they fire their writers and then hire like consultants to do their writing from another country, it looks better on their budget basically. They can get certain tax breaks and et cetera, et cetera. So that's the financial incentive for them to do it. But this company is American, so.
Oh, which company is American?
Hit Detection.
Oh, Hit Detection. Yeah. And I'm looking at the Sweet Baby website. I don't see anything that they have listed that they've worked on with Square Enix, but some people think that they worked with them for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
I mean, there were a bunch of very strange, out of place, multi-ethnic background NPCs in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. In a way that just made no sense, considering that
is the answer.
Final Fantasy VII is actually a world with ethnicities in locations. I mean, that was the big story about Final Fantasy 16. Do you guys remember that drama from a couple of years ago?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, they didn't have black people in Final Fantasy 16. And then the guy was asked, he's like, well, I wrote this world, and I have all the back lore for it. So I did all the world building. And it's like a series of kingdoms in a medieval period. And you have a bunch of European-style people, because that's the location in the world. And then to the south, there's a republic government with a bunch of like browner people, because they're closer to the equator. And that's how I set the world up. And people are saying, why aren't there black people in this game? And it's like, well, because they're not in this location on this planet. And he just said it. He's like, it wouldn't make sense in this context. And everyone got mad at him, but it was a good game and sold well. And
see, I'm happy Yoshi P isn't like, he doesn't bend to a lot of people easily. Like, he makes what he wants to make.
yeah,
And
I've always been a fan of Yoshi P for that reason too.
It's like, I'm excited for the next games that they're working on, because Creative Business Unit 3 is working on 2 new games. Some people think that one of them is the Final Fantasy IX remake.
Oh God, I hope they don't ruin it like they ruined 7.
I think Yoshi P's team will do really well with it, because they like to remain faithful to the originals, which is even with Final Fantasy 14, how they had the Final Fantasy, I believe Final Fantasy 6 villains, and some of them from, I think, 8, I don't remember. But a lot of them are very true to what they were. Like, the Kefka fight was my favorite. Oh my god, the Kefka fight was fucking great.
Kefka is the best villain in Final Fantasy, in my
He
opinion.
is.
You know, everyone likes 7. I like 7 a lot, but I think 6 is the best of the series. 6 is a truly excellent game.
I agree.
But yeah, like the whole problem with the 7 remake is that they sold it as a remake and it wasn't a fucking remake. It was a sequel. And they just hid the fact that it was a sequel to the end of the fucking game. Like, what a piss off. But then 16 was good. So, yeah. Yeah, I can't find exactly what Square Enix has worked on with Sweet Baby Inc. I'm trying to find it, but I can't find it. Let's see here.
I seen someone in chat say that Sweet Baby was in the credits for Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Possibly, yeah. It would make sense. I mean, did you play through the two Final Fantasy remakes so far?
I didn't. The boyfriend has. I swear, one of these days when you guys yap about games, I will just pull them into VC because you guys would mesh really well because D&D nerds and you guys are all about the same age.
Right, right. So like Final Fantasy VII always kind of had a environmentalist story because you start the game off as terrorists blowing up basically their equivalent of nuclear reactors for an environmentalist reason. Because it's Mako, right? So it drains like the life force of the planet, which like kills plants and stuff, but it provides electricity. So you are these eco terrorists. So lefties always kind of liked Final Fantasy VII for that reason because it has that very eco bent to it. But they really ramped it up to 11 in the fucking remakes. Like it was subtle in the original game, and now it's not subtle, and it's just you're gonna beat us over the head with it now. Okay. Honestly, they took a lot of the subtlety out of 7 in the 2 remake games. They made things just very, very just beat over the head, and it kind of became annoying after a while.
It's too much leftism, even for Dev, which tells us everything we really need to know.
Listen. You can write a good leftist story. They just didn't this time. And you know what? They seem to not be doing it at all anymore. It's probably because they suck at their jobs.
Perhaps they're not writing a leftist story, Dev. Perhaps they're writing a right-wing story, but you just perceive it as leftism.
Nah, man, there's like an Antifa group that protests outside of one of the reactors in the game now, and I'm like, all right. And then there's also the scene where they blame capitalism for the destruction of the Corel reactor, which, to be fair, it was actually capitalism that destroyed it. Like Barrett sold out the town for money. Like, yeah, I get it. Like, there's a good, solid left-wing interpretation of the story of Final Fantasy VII. They just made it so fucking overt this time around.
Well, the fun part that I like, anyways, is that the very presence of one of these companies now, one of these diversity companies, is getting investors to start asking questions. That's the important part. Because the reason why these companies were hired were for the ESG score. It was to increase the diversity, it was to increase their funding and their investment. Now that the investors themselves are starting to realize that this is not a signifier of success, we can kind of start taking them out at the knees, which I'm very, very, very happy to see.
I mean, it's only one part of the problem, though. Like when I was researching into Suicide Squad for that video, I discovered that like everyone was blaming Sweet Baby Inc. for the terrible writing and how Harley Quinn shoots Batman in the head, and yet it turns out that Sweet Baby Inc. didn't work on that part of the game at all. That came from inside the company, them deciding to kill Batman. So like, if you got rid of all the consulting companies, it would make things better, but it wouldn't be the end of getting rid of this nonsense from the industry.
I'll take better, Dev. Unlike you, I'm not someone who wants a perfect solution. I just want to see leftists hanged.
Okay.
It's not the perfect solution, Dev, but I'll take it as a start. Let's see. Well, let's go on to the super chats then, since we've talked about most of the topics. Deans has gifted 10 ArchCast memberships. Thank you very much, Deans. I appreciate it. Prism Warrior 1. Surprise, surprise, the fat man eats. Dev, you need to eat 1 to 2 slices of bread a day with an apple and orange a day while running a Norwegian mile. Arch explains to Dev that a Norwegian mile is not the same as a Dev mile because we use the superior metric system. That's true, Dev. If you ate more bread, you wouldn't be eating all the time because the fibers would clog up your butthole, making it more difficult for you to poop all the time.
What?
What?
I don't fucking know, dude.
This is how fibers work. If you eat something rich in fibers, it'll clog up your whole body for a while. It'll take you longer to digest it, and you'll have to poop less. This way, you won't have to shit 3 times in the average ArchCast.
Yeah, but you can just eat lettuce for that.
No, Dev,
I'm gonna be bread.
No, lettuce is for the weak and the faggoty, which I suppose, fine argument there, Dev, but bread is the superior source of fiber. Just eat bread. Bread, Dev, bread.
Listen, you want me to get fatter again? I'm currently losing weight, all right? I want to stay on the lose weight track. I don't need to get back into the bread zone here.
But Dev. The bread is not guilty of your expending waistline. It is you continuing to eat other things beyond bread that is guilty of that. Also, it depends on your definition of bread. Because I remember I went to England one time, and I was like, okay, I can't be bothered going out to eat. I'm just going to pop down to the local store, and I'm going to buy some bread and some jam, and I'm just going to eat that at my hotel. I ate it, and it's the sugariest fucking bread I have ever tasted. It wasn't even loaf. It was like sugar bread. I was like, God, no wonder the Brits look like the way they do. In Norway, bread, if you can't beat another man to death with it, it's not bread.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing here. Lots of bread here. I always get whole wheat bread because the white stuff is just too sugary. It's fucking ridiculous.
It's like, white bread in Norway is nothing compared to in England. Like, our white bread is just flour. Like, we don't sugar the fucking thing for... God, why? This is the problem with you colonials. Like, I've even seen, like, American cheese. Like, oh, this is cheese. No, this isn't cheese.
What, like the cheese in a can that you squeeze out?
Well, yeah, like, cheese. Fundamentally, cheese has holes in it. If there isn't holes in your cheese, it's not cheese. It's wrong.
Yeah, a lot of American cheese is floppy.
Yeah.
And for some reason is stable at room temperature.
Yeah, no, it's disgusting. It's just solid, like, little bricky things. And the color is off, too. Like, fuck, Americans. Oh, terrible. I need to teach them a valuable lesson about food at some point. They're approaching British levels of foods. Mark to shame. The only good Disney stuff that came out of them these days is on Rule 34. And the power of one too many. Rule 34 Disney. What has Disney made recently that makes for good pornography?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, like what? I mean, they don't put hot girls in things anymore. Like, what the fuck would you...
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm kind of struggling to come up with an example here.
It's a bad one. We need to think what the hell they could have put on, like...
Oh, I know what it is. It's Pixar stuff.
Pixar?
Yeah, it's gonna be like the mom from The Incredibles with a giant ass or something.
Ah,
that's old. That's old stuff.
Yeah, but that is
stuff.
old.
Yeah, but people are still making it. People are still making part of that.
I don't quite see the appeal, but
what, of big asses? Who's the gay one now?
But Dev, just a big ass alone is not necessarily good, Dev.
I don't know how much support you're gonna get for this one, Arch.
Quite a lot. Chat is on my side.
You might be all alone on this one.
It's like, I can see DC Rule 34. Like, DC basically created the style in the Batman the Animated Series, which they've stuck with all this fucking time, because it's a very simple and very appealing style that they've barely deviated from. And whenever they do deviate from it, they get stick for it. But Disney... I don't see Disney. I don't see the Disney Rule 34. I don't think I want to see the Disney Rule 34.
Man, I'm just scrolling through Twitter and I forgot how cringe the VTuber community is. Apparently, like, you know how there's like streamer awards and stuff, and there's smaller VTuber awards just because, you know, they need their own little thing. Yep. Apparently now there is a niche of that for the Black VTuber Awards, and that's today apparently.
Oh yeah, there was that last year too. It was so stupid. Okay. I recall it being really fucking dumb.
Yeah, it still is equally dumb.
It's like, hold on. Can I just like get a VTuber model and make it black and then count? Like, can I digital blackface this shit?
It's like I don't know how they like managed to be like, okay, are you actually black? Take a picture of your hand.
Show me your melanin count.
But it's like I know people who would just be like, hey dude, take a picture of your hand for me.
Yep.
It's funny. It's
Do they
fucking
measure
funny.
it where it's like if you're like mixed, but if you're not black enough, you don't count? Are they gonna one drop rule you? Like, how does it work?
I don't
Actually, okay, here.
know.
Speaking of the one drop fucking rule, here, look at this. Look at this fucking person. This person isn't. This woman isn't black.
I was about to say the host is the host. I don't even think is black. It's like, hold on.
Heresy's
Here's the
question. Fire is the answer.
they have a whole ass website for it too.
Oh my god.
I can't even open that.
Like, okay, we all know that the various like streamer awards they're all bullshit, right? We know that, like, more so than the Oscars are, more so than like the Game Awards are. The streamer awards are the height of award bullshit.
Yes. There's
I've
nothing
seen,
to
like...
be awarded here either. It's just dumb. It shouldn't be awarded for this. Least of all Dev.
I've seen, oh man, like 2 years in a row, fucking Frogan got like Twitch up and comer, and she never actually up and came. She's been sitting at like 50 viewers for the past like 4 fucking years, and the only reason that she's even notable is because she's like a white woman in a hijab talking about Palestine, and Hassan like chills for her sometimes, but otherwise.
Also, we need to make an official control organ for determining whether or not people are black. And I will bring up Megan, the Duchess of I don't even know anymore, every time. Because this woman does not pass the criteria. I claim this woman as a part of the white race, and I will not let it go. She may be a terrible human being, but she's not black. I will defend the blacks' honor on this matter.
Service guarantees citizenship.
To the death, if need be.
You're very inclusive, huh?
Yes.
But it's like the thing with VTubers is like people will just be like, yeah, you can be anything as a VTuber. I have seen a good handful of black people who use white models. But then if someone who is, naturally less melanated in everything, and they have a model darker than they are, even if it's slightly darker, then they will gang up on you and have your career fucking in shambles because 98% of the VTuber sphere of bullshit is just way far lefty.
Yep.
And it's insane.
I think I actually mentioned this last week. They have the same problem as the Nintendo YouTubers. They have like a very soft and fluffy aesthetic, so they attract progressives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you should cancel
like
VTubers whenever possible.
It's like I have found other VTubers who, like, in public on their Twitters, they will be like, pandering, lefty, blah blah blah. In private, they are not. They are fucking not. They're like, yeah, I hate this shit, but this is what gets me viewers. And I'm like, good for you.
God damn it. No. Stand up for what's right. You should not be cowardly. Say the thing that is true.
Some of these people are like Twitch partners and stuff, so it's like I get it because their little pay pigs will leave otherwise. So it's like if you got some pay pigs going while you're feigning as a lefty, I understand. Get that bag.
They gotta here's what they gotta do. They gotta like start boiling the frog on moving them away from the left. Then do it slowly. Take a couple years. Just nudge them along. Give them like pipelines into better arguments.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make them enlightened centrists. That's the way.
Yes.
Dev, no more bridging. Only burning now. Punkle says, they think orcs are people because they resemble the destruction of civilization. They are the decivilizing force. They're just already beyond the gate. Only deconstruction, no creation. Functionally LA, only fantasy. Yes. The deconstructive force cannot see the error of its ways as Rome is burning around it. Fondue, they actually had an artificer subclass that gives you an Iron Man suit that could be used to replace the limbs. It was a way to have an amputee character. Okay, so I had to have this information, so now I'm going to share it with the two of you. I was in Rosa's podcast the other day, and she explained to me that apparently she finds the idea of nuggets appealing.
And what are those? You mean poop
nuggets are quadruple amputees.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, so basically you take a girl, all right, and you take the arms and the legs off, and you, like, just kind of have her as a fleshlight.
Well, no, you keep the little stubs. That's the nugget part, so that they can walk around on all four like a particularly monstrous dog.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen art like that, and they're strangely drawn very well.
Wow. I'm disappointed in your reaction. Like, Dev is like, oh yes, I know this subgenre of my favorite fetish. Lumi too is like, yeah, no, I know this. Really?
Okay.
We are not disgusted by this?
Okay, can't be surprised by the person who likes Guro.
That's true.
I would like a bit more of a public rejection of this, but no.
See, for me, I'm not into it. I've just seen it fucking everywhere. So it's like, oh yeah, it doesn't shock me.
Also, I used to peruse Tumblr before the porn ban, so shit like that was everywhere.
Yep. Okay, here. Hold on. What is the weirdest fetish you guys have ever come across? Go.
The weirdest? Fuck.
She's sifting through an enormous library of things.
Yeah, because I gotta try to think what's the weirdest out of all of them that I've seen. Anything to do with worms is pretty weird.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. That's fucking weird, dude.
Fish.
Listen, hold on. You don't have to be into it. I'm just wondering, like, what's the weirdest you've seen?
Yeah, the weirdest I've seen was
Heresy's the question.
Worms.
Fire is the
so,
answer.
It's similar to with sounding, but instead of using a solid object, you use worms or bugs.
That's not good. I don't like that.
That's, yep. How about you, Arch?
Fish. I remember vividly as a small child on the internet seeing a woman shove a frozen fish up her vagina and being just confused.
You were confused or the woman?
I think both of us were confused, honestly. even as a small child, a porn-starred little child, I looked like that, and there was no eroticism whatsoever. There was not even a moment of attraction. It was just like, wow, you must be really desperate,
Service guarantees citizenship.
Good God.
Punkle, no such thing as sincerity or generosity or genuine to them. Nothing heartfelt. Extra credit orc written hired by Wizco. Only solution is do what Vlad did at his castle. Symbolically, of course. Impalement is a fine punishment for many crimes, it is true. Fondue, what kind of elves, Dev? What kind of elves?
Well, no, listen, it's always one high elf and one dark elf. That's how pretty much all hentai go.
Around elves, watch yourself.
Service guarantees citizenship.
Old Death 5, hero in a wheelchair, only works in Discworld. Pretty much. Mostly because that was an absurd universe. It's All Over 57 says, coming back soon, a roll for circumference. Anal circumference. What was the, anal fortitude was another thing you need to roll to see if you got anal fissures from that game.
Oh, which game is this?
Fatal, I think.
Oh, I've heard of that one. I've heard a lot of weird stories about that one.
The Hillian Juggalo. Arch, the goal of you, V, and myself is to get Dev to send a sincere handwritten apology letter to the Westboro Baptist Church for being correct. Soon, eventually. Prism Warrior 1. Then Dev should manage to go from a fat man to a fit man in a year or two. Maybe then Dev will be able to actually be here on time when he gets into shape. Also, less food means less pooping, and maybe Dev then will no longer have to use diapers for long streams. Ah. That's a better narrative. Yes, he wears the diaper so that he doesn't have to poop himself on stream. As I think he's away right now defecating. Dev? Yes, he is. Fondue. Processing into an early grave. I don't remember what that's in. They really need timestamps on these. Officer Buck Tudrussel, and of course the female dwarves are doing the manly hard labor, while the male dwarves are cooking and minding the storefront. Of course. Well, naturally. He's baking little...
I was about to say, there's a difference between men cooking and men baking. Men cooking is like, yes, that's still a manly activity. Men baking, that's gay.
Cooking is not a manly activity. Cooking is act of bribery.
Have cooking. Cooking is in the same
Service
category as
guarantees
grilling
citizenship.
or smoking and stuff like that.
Yeah, grilling's kind of gay too. Men just trick themselves.
Hey, let men cook the meat, because God forbid if I try to cook
Heresy's the
certain meats,
question.
because I'll fuck it up.
Fire is the answer.
Okay, guys, I've got to go. Dave just got home. I have to discuss with him some editing things for the video that hopefully comes out before I fucking die.
All right, Dev.
Thanks
good
for having
luck.
me on once again.
Good luck pooping.
Good luck
Fuck you.
pooping, Dev.
Fuck
Don't
you.
miss the toilet.
I'll see you two later.
See you later.
Yeah, I would tell you not to fall into it, but that would be physically impossible. He's gone already.